Gallus is first. Nobody can tell him otherwise. It's not Exalted. If Exalted comes in here and does it, it's not even Nostalgia. It's Exalted. It's Exalted that does the first shit. Nostalgia just comes in here and says, "Hey, what's up?" Nostalgia has done nothing wrong. Don't say Nostalgia can fuck himself, Gallus. There's no need for that. It's unnecessary. Just coming here hearing my name, yeah, because Gallus came into the chat and said first, Nostalgia can fuck himself. Nostalgia's giving me shit about not being here first. Ooh, never mind then. That's between y'all. On God, that's between y'all. Now, about this game. Let's go ahead and start it off. Turnabout ablaze. So, what's the over under on this case being very simplistic? It's going to be Callisto U is going to have the world's strongest comeback, commit a murder, and frame K for it. So that seems like the most likely thing that's going to happen. I'm not a dummy, but I'm not completely blind either, so that just seems like it's going to be probable. Let's go ahead and start it off. Stars, man, what's going on? Turnabout ablaze. Oh, no anime, but it's animated. 2 cards. One of the Black Raven and one of the White Raven. What's up, Seabay? Country torn in two, one to the west and one to the east. Yo, Berlin? When those which were split are made whole again, the truth will reveal itself. Well, somebody's setting some shit on fire. Hence the name Turnabout Ablaze. Got a statue and a knife that's framed on a wall. I assume this is all gonna get burned up. It's the Adagarasu. The Adagarasu's here. Oh boy. Oh. Yo. You accursed Yadagarasu. K, you. Or is it KYEW? 8 hours earlier. Ooh. Hold on. Wait a minute. March 14th, 10:17 a.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. What's up, young nipple? Let's get to it. It's so nice, almost dreamlike, to finally have the chance to relax and sip some tea. Why aren't you sitting at your desk sipping the tea? I on the sofa. Especially after what a whirlwind the past few days have been. On my return flight, I was dragged into a case involving an Interpol agent's murder. The next day, I investigated a kidnapping and a murder at the Gatewaterland theme park. And later that night, a detective's dead body welcomed me back to my office. Along with a thief who was out to pilfer files related to a case from 10 years ago. Because the sofa's super comfy, has been stated in several games now. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's more comfy, but why not have like a fucking sofa chair behind your desk? It's not like that chair moves that much. Although it wouldn't fit the motif of having a nice, neat, orderly office. How did I manage to find myself in the middle of so many cases back to back? Well, at least I have today. All I ask is that I be allowed to spend it quietly. You have a feeling when you procrastinate something till the last minute, get a high grade on it? Well, hello, Kay. Thank you for knocking. This is big. Big, I tell you. Hey, what's wrong with you? Where's your enthusiasm? And suddenly the phrase, the fragility of dreams, comes to mind. What are you talking about, fragile dreams? What am I getting pinged for? I can't watch that. Sorry, Rashad. Come on, let's go. The fake Yatagarasu isn't going to just find herself, you know. Well, if you must know, it's possible that I was paid a visit last night by your fake. Say what? He's in Japanifornia, so the earthquakes are twice as prone to cause disaster as when to mess up his desk. Look. Yeah, he's not Clavier. That's a big fact. He would not fuck up his office look for the sake of comfort. Unfortunately for us, the thief managed to escape. But even now, we're still looking for this criminal. So, so we're being presented with the idea that it could have been Callisto that was in the office when Buddy Faith was murdered, or after Buddy Faith was murdered. However, I must warn you that we've only had a few hours to search so far. But so I insist that you must be patient on this one, okay? What's with you today? Are you sure you aren't sleep talking to me right now? Anyway, yeah, unfortunately, Smash, that's punishable by death. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Anyway, I've got something much more important that I want you to see. Oh, and that is? Take a look at this. On March 14th, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. It's quite a bold declaration to send to an embassy. I suppose it was inevitable that a newspaper would catch wind of this. The date the card mentions is today. Evening edition, by the way. Today, huh? Come on, we gotta hurry. The embassy awaits. I suppose it is quite an urgent matter. However, do you know which country's embassy we should be investigating? Well, it's some really special country, and I'm actually really fuzzy on the details. But never mind that. Where's all your energy? Why are you so lackadaisical today? So is it going to be the Zangfa embassy or the Cadopian embassy? Because Zangfa has been getting quite the push from big man Shilong, excuse me. I'm not Kay, you're just too wound up. Well, then you should get wound up too, because this might be our chance to catch that one. You mean Miss You? Well, the woman who killed Kay's father burned Faraday 7 years ago. Smash got fuck. That's like the first legit timeout. No, I've timed out people for posting that fuck ass turtle. You do it, I will just time you out. The time increases each time you do it. It's simple enough. Callisto Yu. She claimed to be the great thief Yatagarasu, and then disappeared from the courtroom. She makes me so mad, the phony. Everyone knows that the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a calling card. Until a company's underhanded dealings are made public, the target is always totally unaware that the Yatagarasu has paid them a visit. That's what makes the real Yatagarasu so awesome. What's up, Kid Specs? The Yatagarasu's card that's shown in the article. It looks to me as though it could be genuine. See, that's the thing. Whoever it is, that person isn't the real deal, but has knowledge of the Yatagarasu. If this isn't a clue that that woman's involved, then nothing is. Fixing your gloves. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, out the door you go. Wait, there are a few preparations I must make before we go. There's something interesting about this card we found last night here in my office. Is K older? Am I just stupid? No, this is current timeline K. The previous yesterday was all in the past. Yesterday was 7 years ago. What's up, Ultra Bub? So K is her proper age. Last case was a flashback. It's of a different color than the one in the article, which makes me wonder why. What's up? Any reason why you're boring a hole through the newspaper with your eyes? No reason at all. Very well, seeing as how Miss Yu is also someone of a special nature to me, I agree there is some merit to be found in investigating this. Also, Fallen Ike is cool, but Fallen Grail would have been better. Dog. Fallen Dimitri would have been better, you know? Fallen Dimitri would have been a sick fit, since we're doing Legendary Edelgard. I knew you'd come around. March 14th, 5 p.m., Theatrum Neutralis. Neutral Theater? Okay. By the light of this night's glorious moon... Steel Samurai. We are ready. And the Pink Princess, too. Hey, hold on. And this is where our tale begins. Dimitri isn't fallen to me since it's not like he killed anyone important to him. Yeah, but he was still, like... You can make the same argument for Grima as well. What a coincidence. Like, or you could do the same for like Grima. You can do the same for Korin. Yeah, but what about Chrom in the tutorial? Shut up. Grima didn't kill nobody for nothing. There's a couple of the Fallen units where it's like, yeah, maybe, maybe not. The one where it really fits for is Berkut. But you didn't hear that from me. You heard it directly from me. Gray killed his wife, and then the man was like, hey, well, sever my fucking ligaments and my dominant sword hand so nobody can ever tell that I did it. Yeah, exactly. How have I missed this entire game? I have no idea, Mario, but you're here now, so welcome to the final chapter. Who would have thought that a Steel Samurai stage show would ever be held in such an elegant theater inside a foreign embassy? Yeah, the climax was really awesome. Steel Samurai sushi slice. I got chills down my spine when he pulled that move out. I suppose it really is more impactful to watch a show in person than on television. Edgeworth really just a big fan, bro. That's insane. I have to say, though, this embassy is set up kind of funny. I mean, they have two countries sharing the same building. Well, as you said yourself, this place and the countries and houses are very special. Even this theater is special that a neutral zone is shared by the two countries. Okay. Did you mean to find that Easter egg in Case 3? I have no idea what you're talking about. I've found one Easter egg in Case 4, but I don't know if there was an Easter egg in Case 3 that I missed or got. I wasn't paying attention too much to an Easter egg, or what the Easter egg might have been. Even this theater is special. Okay, yeah. Neutral zone. So, let me get this straight. The Steel Samurai show just now is being sponsored by one of the two countries. The one that's called the Kingdom of Albast, right? Alabast? Where's Crocodile at? No one guided you? I don't think so. Lion is probably the best one to go for, but Red gives you the best chances at Julia and Ike, and both are good units. Yeah. Lion seems like he's probably going to be the best. A defensive mage? That's sick. Defensive mages are always going to be great. Yes, it would appear that the Steel Samurai is very popular in that country as well. You can see a certain friend on a boat in Case 3. On a boat. I don't remember any boats in Case 3. Yeah, no, I don't remember being able to see any boats. Because the two characters that were in there were definitely callbacks. The only character I remember not having a definite name, but it was a character from a previous game, was Salmonella. That fucking 80% cut from AoE is clutch. Yeah. Ophelia niggas in shambles. Seems that way. But you know who I'm really into? The Jammin' Ninja. Okay. The Republic of Babal is sponsoring a Jammin' Ninja stage show. That's something for fangirls like me. We've totally got to see that too, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm really upset now because, obviously, with the way the games have gone, Kay Faraday and Maya don't have any interaction, and it would be great to see them just yell about TV shows. God damn it. But yeah, Mario, if you want to send a link to the person on the boat, go ahead. Because I have no memory of a boat whatsoever in Case 3. We've totally got to see that too, Mr. Edgeworth. The Jammin' Ninja show is going to kick the Steel Samurai show's rear end. You know, ever since I first met this girl, I always had this inkling that what she really wants to be is not a thief, but rather a ninja. So anyway, about today's event. What's it called again? The Kingdom of Alabast versus the Republic of Baba Goodwill Jubilee. Yeah, that's definitely rolls off the tongue. Good shit. Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babal. Ike being immune and getting boosted off debuffs is great, but it'll probably have bad res like all the Ike alts. Yeah, more than likely. Post link where? You can post it in here. There's no ban on links in here. The small European countries of the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babal. Let's check this out. Should be timestamped. Looks like it.
And over here on the right, we have a bridge.
Ah, okay, yeah, no. I did not go run and see that. Huh.
And as you can see in the...
Let's go ahead and mute this because I don't want to hear this guy talking. Does he not say anything about them? That's kind of fucked. Huh. Like he's second only to Camilla in terms of alts. Yeah, that dude's mic audio is loud as fuck. I think from the angle they can't see him, that's cap. You don't see those three on a boat and say, damn, I wonder who those people are. But no, I think Ike is lower than Camilla, and Ike is lower than Lynn. I think it's Camilla and Lynn that have the two most alts.
In the Republic of Babal, these two countries used to be a single entity that was abundant with nature.
Do you see Salmonella in case 2? Yeah, we saw him. I definitely looked at Sal.
And it was called the Principality of Cadopia.
Okay, so, right, okay. So it's not going... I thought it was going to be Cadopian and some other country that were in this embassy. But no, it used to be the Cadopian embassy, but they were split. Interesting. Is everything alright, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, I'm alright. Moving on. After a period of civil unrest, the country split in two, though the signs of the past remain. For example, their flags preserve the flower and butterfly motifs to this day. Cadopia, huh?
Finally, did you look at Edgeworth Law books on the plane with Gumshoe? I did not. On the plane, I didn't really do too much looking around past the characters that were in first class just on the seat. Or in their seats, rather.
The KG-8 incident and what was referred to as the second KG-8 incident.
So, the craziest thing about this is Manny Cochin just got fucking... Oh, just run away. Okay, no, yeah, Mario, somebody told me that, that inside one of the law books is a Steel Samurai comic. But no, I didn't see that for myself. But yeah, Manny Cochin kind of just got off on this case and has just been out and about. So I wonder if he's going to show back up this case too.
Both of these cases were related to the Principality of Cadopia. In the 7 years that have passed, the country may have split into two. However, the Yatagarasu still sent a calling card here. What could it all mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, I know you're thinking about something.
Oh, excuse me. What were we talking about again?
If you could please stop spacing out on me. I mean, roam around freely is what people usually do when found not guilty, no? Yeah, of course, but I mean the fact that he showed back up when, during the trial of, what the fuck was his name? It was Mackerel. He showed up during Mackerel's trial, when he and Burn Faraday got killed. And nobody kind of, like, looked his way. It was kind of weird. Well, I mean, Edgeworth brought him up as a potential suspect, but then it was kind of quickly swept under the rug. The two countries have had a pretty bad relationship with each other, but supposedly they've been trying really hard to make up. That's why they decided to hold this event.
If that's the case, then why the verses?
Also, both countries claim to own the real Primaduck statue, excuse me, a national treasure to both. They're planning to have them publicly evaluated today to see which one's the real deal.
Kay, need I remind you to take care and not succumb to your thieving desires?
Well, when it comes to treasure, you know I can't help myself. Looks at title, why not Edgeworth? Because fucking, 100%, either of them could. But of the people to be adopting people as they get along, Gumshoe definitely would have the reasoning to, and would explain why Gumshoe and Kay don't pop up again.
She'd better be saying that in jest.
Hey, I can read your body language, you know, and you've got it all wrong. Look, I'm here to do some investigating. Investigating, I tell you?
I know. Although we don't know if the Yatagarasu will really make an appearance. I suppose we should still spend time examining this place.
Yeah, do we have... We should have Kay, yeah. Okay. Look at the three people that are propped up prominently in profiles off rip. Look at this smug bastard. Jesus Christ. Age deceased. Great. I love it. Alright. Yeah, Deed Man. I don't know why the fuck they did that.
I suppose we should still spend some time examining this place.
Alright. Now, I'm gonna be a little bit more astute and going to be looking around everywhere. Hey! What you doing? Age deceased is normal? Yeah, it's just funny every time I see it. Cameraman. Where in tarnation are they? Come on, big scoop. Hey, mister, out of the way. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I seem to remember this woman from somewhere. Yet my instincts are directing me not to engage in conversation with her. Perhaps it would be best if I left her alone.
Well, at least we know that she's not going to be popping up as a witness. Can't say the same for Wendy fucking Oldbag.
There's a flat panel, a tape deck, and a row of Steel Samurai videos on this table. I suppose it's so that visitors can watch an episode or two at their leisure.
I guess it really is just that popular, huh? Talk to her.
Yes, although I never thought I would see it reach this level of popularity.
Edgeworth is a hipster. Oh no. I wonder why they decided to call in the Steel Samurai for an event like this. I mean, it's like they intended to cut the two countries apart with the samurai sword instead.
Wouldn't that go against the whole point of this event?
Alright. Flags. Oh, and Global Studios sent over a bouquet. That's pretty neat.
The national flag of the Republic of Babal is on display here. The crest on it features a butterfly.
It's really rare to see a national flag featuring an animal on it.
Not really. I can list at least a few off for you that do.
Okay, are there any flags with really chic things on them?
Chic things? That's pretty vague, Kay. Although, by my definition, there aren't really any flags that feature a chic object.
Aw, that's too bad. Because if there was, I was thinking about stealing it.
And what exactly would you do with a stolen national flag, Kay?
Yeah, I don't know what are you gonna do with a flag? Alright, green suit. This is the perfect angle. Go, my image. Travel across the wave world and into every TV set around the globe.
A more honest approach to appearing on TV might serve your ambitions better.
Alright, and you too. You know, I've seen a lot of these shows in a bunch of other places, but today's show, it was like they went for a complete comedy, you know what I mean? Yeah, and that last move, the sushi slice, I couldn't help but laugh, I know, right? And that Pink Princess move was really stiff. In the middle of the show, I could swear that I heard her hip crack. Oh, I know, I totally thought that too. Pink Princess has a bad hip, seriously? Just what were they thinking, you know?
I suppose there is no graceful way to enter this conversation.
Edgeworth is like, no, it was great. Shut up. 10 more minutes. No, 5 more minutes. But isn't it really bad for me to spend time doing this? It's no use. Would someone please just tell me what I should do?
You appear to be troubled by something. May I be of any assistance?
Leave me alone. I'm trying to figure out the right time to talk to that girl over there. And if I mess up, it'll be because I'm talking to you right now. Somehow I get the feeling he's about to fall flat on his face.
Let's just do as he wishes and leave him alone.
Alright. And I assume these are the 2 guards for the 2 different countries. Is there something I can help you with?
I was wondering what is beyond these doors.
The Babalese embassy is just beyond these doors, sir. Do you have some business with the embassy? Do you require immediate access?
No, that's quite alright.
Are you sure, sir? Anyone and everyone is always welcome in the Republic of Babal. Well then, since we're here...
An embassy is in some sort of theme park here.
You're such a buzzkill. Miles Edgeworth, known for killing buzzes. And this has to be, Alabast. There's something I can help you with? I was wondering what is beyond these doors. It's the Alabastian Embassy. Now, unless you have some business with the embassy,
I suppose I can't really claim to have any business with the embassy right now.
Well, you don't have to be so rude about it, Mr. Guard. Good energy, Gay. Alright. And we're here reporting live from the Theatre Neutralis. As you can see, tonight's audience is full of enthusiasm. Let's see what this member of the audience has to say. Okay, that was good. Let's do one more run-through.
Excuse me, but when you are ready to film for real, would you mind giving me a call? I sense that she didn't hear a single word I just said.
Alright, sick. Can I go in here? I've talked to everybody. I haven't talked to the kid.
It appears that the child was watching a video from the first season of the Steel Samurai.
Go, go, keep fighting until your last breath. Go, my hero, the Steel Samurai.
completely absorbed in singing the theme song, I see. I'll let the child watch in peace.
Alright. Global Studios.
These flowers were sent by Global Studios.
Global Studios?
That's where they filmed the Steel Samurai television show. They've been producing hit after hit recently, so the studio is being remodeled.
I read about that in the papers the other day. The mascot of theirs is also getting a facelift too, right? What's its name?
You mean Mrs. Monkey?
Yeah, I thought it was something like that.
Never underestimate my power.
Oh, you have a great memory. Never underestimate my powers of recollection. Okay, there we go. Yeah. It's Mr. Monkey, isn't it?
There are pamphlets about the two embassies here on this table.
Alright. It still looks weird to me. Yeah, why would you have, unless that's just a covering of the building and they actually meet in the middle? Because it's weird to have this weird bordering wall go up and around.
The country split into two a few years back, and they've shared the building and its grounds 50-50 ever since.
Oh, I guess it's because they don't have the money to build two separate ones, huh?
I should think that's not the reason why, Kay. I suppose I'll just help myself to one of these.
Alright, we got an organizer.
What is all the hubbub?
Hey, look, it's the Steel Samurai. Please be Will Powers. And he's got his son, the Iron Infant, with him. Yeah. Move, child. Move.
May I speak with you for a second? It's the Steel Samurai.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you glaring at him for?
Please excuse me. It's just I've never seen a superhero so up close before.
To Mr. Edgeworth, Steel Samurai. Does it say Steel Samurai Daddy? What is that wanted? I can't read anything that fucking says. It looks like he's written something down for you.
To Edgeworth, from Steel Samurai Daddy, married man of Neo Tokyo.
Wow, an autograph. Pretty cool that you got one, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, it's even more impressive that I didn't tell him my name. I guess I had to wait for the animation to play through. Fucking Edgeworth is stoked. Mr. Steel Samurai, Ambassador Alba is waiting for you. And now the Steel Samurai. Proceed to enter the Kingdom of Alabasta to shake the hand of the Ambassador. The Steel Samurai isn't only here for two countries tonight, but rather can be thought of as a goodwill ambassador from our own country as well. There he goes, off to spread goodwill to the world. Yeah, obviously Miles Edgeworth, but if it is Will Powers, it can't be Will Powers in there, right? The guy looked too small. But it is nice that that the guy would recognize and know of Edgeworth. Edgeworth was kind of feeling himself right there.
He really does seem like a goodwill ambassador, doesn't he?
Okay, we're shooting the next segment now. Cue camera. In just a few seconds, the Jammin' Ninja stage show is set to begin. After the show, the Jammin' Ninja will enter the Republic of Babal. He's set to meet with the ambassador of Babal at that time. Ah, the Jammin' Ninja show is about to start. We've got to get back to our seats.
Regrettably, I don't have much of an interest in ninjas.
Well, this show will change your mind. Come on, we have to hurry. If we miss even a second of the Jammin' Ninja's awesome playing, I'll never forgive you. I wonder who they got playing the Jammin' Ninja now that Juan Carita had bit the dust.
I suppose you're not about to give me much of a choice here, are you, Kay?
Yeah, just walk in front of the shot. Good shit. Ah, I could listen to that A Ninja Marked for Death's lullaby song all day. His superb playing and that sad melody really brought a tear to my eye. And his heart-wrenching voice. Now that's the Jammin' Ninja's greatest weapon. Edgeworth don't like it. Those pieces of Jammin' Ninja merchandise over there. I've gotta have them. Jammin' Ninja was not Global Studios, it was the rival studio. Nickel Samurai was Global. Yeah, but Juan Carita was playing the Jammin' Ninja, was he not? And then Madden Guard had him killed? I'm remembering that right. I know I am. So I wonder who they have playing the Jammin' Ninja now. That's what I really want to see. I especially want the hair sticks they're selling exclusively at these shows. They're exactly like the ones the heroine Princess Miss Solo wears in her hair.
Anyway,
Anyway? Hold it right there, Mr. Edgeworth.
yes.
You're thinking of going home, aren't you?
Well, it doesn't seem likely that the Yatagarasu will be making an appearance tonight. Most likely it was simply a prank.
No way, I just know the Yatagarasu will show.
But I thought you said the Yatagarasu doesn't send calling cards.
Yeah, I did, but
I figured from the very beginning that this would wind up being a wild goose chase.
I guess a new guy, Minjam. I know the Steel Samurai was the one AA fans would know, but I thought the Nickel Samurai was his replacement. Yeah, and then it was found that the guy who was playing the Nickel Samurai was a fucking habitual murderer. So they were like, "Hey, maybe we should bring back the Steel Samurai, to kind of clear it up." But that card she sent was a genuine fake calling card.
A genuine fake.
Well, how can I word this? The Yatagarasu's mark that's on the calling card is exactly the same as my mark. Get it now? Well, we've got a problem. The Yatagarasu has been spotted in Alabast.
What?
You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Ha! So you finally decided to show yourself, you phony. Hey, what gives?
I'm sorry, but I will need to search you before you may enter.
What the? Hey, the Steel Samurai just waltzed straight through without one. Now, if you don't hurry up and let me through, my phony is going to escape.
Okay, a country's embassy is considered to be part of the country itself. If you don't go through the proper procedures to enter the country...
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm going to enter through Babal and climb over the wall to Alabast.
You would tell the prosecutor straight out that you intend to illegally enter another... Kay, are you listening to me? She's gone, Holmes.
Kay Faraday, and I'm coming through. Yes, and welcome.
Someone stop her, anyone.
March 14th, 6:12 p.m. open air stage. Edgeworth out of breath. Getting dusted by a 17-year-old.
Kay, where are you? Don't tell me you really did find some way over this fence.
I see what I need to investigate first. Fire! This is too big for us to handle. Looks like the Yatagarasu came to Babal, too. Duty Fairmouse is wearing a full suit? Correct.
You accursed Yatagarasu. Kay, you would better be alright wherever you are.
Oh. Hey, Sheena. Hey, Gumshoe. March 14th, 6:45 p.m. Babali's Embassy Secretariat's office. I told you it wasn't me.
Hold it!
Kay, are you alright?
Do I look alright to you? Now, can you do something about this woman? Mr. Edgeworth.
Detective Gumshoe, what's the meaning of this?
Well, sir, it's this. Oh, it's Manny Coaching. Hey! I'm glad that I didn't have to fucking, wonder about where he went for too long, seeing as he is now fucking dead. It wasn't me. He was already dead when I ran in here, hot on the heels of the fake Yatagarasu. Look, I only came in here because I saw a suspicious person on the open-air stage.
A suspicious person?
A long black coat and a hood over their head. I dare you to tell me that's not suspicious. When I saw that person, I immediately thought they must be the fake Yatagarasu. So I chased after them into the embassy, then into here, and then lost sight of them. See, because what I thought was going to happen was that I thought we were going to find Callisto Yu's body. Seeing as she was already in the organizer, I figured that she was going to make an appearance, and then it would be, oh, well, Callisto is dead, so that means that, it has to be somebody that has a strong grudge against her, and then it was going to be pinned on Kay. But now it's a little bit different, seeing as, oh, well, Yeah, I guess it's Manny coaching. It's exactly like, oh, excuse me, like Danganronpa 2-3, where I was like, yeah, this person is a suspect, and then you find them dead. Feels good. Feels real good. So I chased after them into the embassy, then into here, and then lost sight of them. But I just know that the person is the one who did it. What are you so worked up over? There is no reason for you to be this loud.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Agent Lang's secretary. Sheena, I believe your name is, correct? And if you are making an arrest, I assume you have evidence that it was Kay who committed the crime. Is that also correct?
Don't tell me it's some bullshit witness.
You refuse to answer.
I don't need to answer. You are merely a prosecutor in this country, meaning you have no investigative authority.
Hey, pal, just what the heck does what you said mean? If it happened here, it's under Mr. Edgeworth's jurisdiction. The end. And seeing as how this building is sitting on our soil, we can investigate wherever we like. Unfortunately, Detective, embassies are a different matter.
You know what? I gotta give it to Gumshoe. No, not 2-3, 2-2. 2-2, where I'm like, yes, this person, because we haven't seen them, can be a suspect. And then we find them dead, and then I'm like, oh, well, there goes my theory.
This office is considered to be a part of the Republic of Babal, which means that anything that happens in here defaults to the control of the Babalese government and Babalese law, giving them exclusive extraterritorial rights. Extraterrestrial rights? Sir, do you really believe that the truth is out there? Basically, our country's laws do not apply inside the embassy of another country. That's what was agreed by our respective governments. Our authority to investigate was effectively nullified the second we entered this place. Which means we can do little here in this situation.
No way, sir. Please leave this matter in Interpol's hands and go home. Or we can just pull it to the courthouse. I'll dust y'all niggas in there. Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, you're not Mr. Edgeworth. In that case, allow me to join your investigation. Yeah! Yeah! Ambassador Paliano, I appreciate you allowing me to join the investigation. Dog, look at this guy. Why is he just getting his fucking Birdman hand rub on? It's really nothing. Manny was my secretariat, so of course I want... He was your secretariat? What the fuck? So of course I want you to help as much as I want to help you as much as I can. In fact, it's a blessing that Interpol agents were able to make it so quickly.
Franziska.
Well, well. I never imagined that I'd meet you here of all places. This is an embassy, meaning that you have no authority to conduct. Already? What is it?
Ambassador Paliano.
And you are?
I'm Miles Edgeworth, public prosecutor. I ask that you please allow me to investigate this case as Miss Von Karma's assistant.
Assistant? Miles, what the heck do you think you're?
Please, I implore you, Ambassador Paliano.
Very well. I'll be counting on the two of you, Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edgeworth. What did you mean by you'll be Miss Von Karma's assistant?
I don't exactly have a choice, do I, Detective? If I don't become Franziska's assistant, I can't participate in this investigation.
There you go again, running off at the mouth with that aloof expression on your face.
Franziska, please.
I don't know what you're planning quite yet, but at least I do know one thing, that you are now my subordinate. Just remember that my whip is always ready to wake you should you have a brain lapse.
Of course, I'll keep that in mind.
If you are done playing games... Okay, Sheena, you're gonna have to calm down. Franziska will dust you. Like a fucking dirty lamp. How about you calm down over there?
Right, let's begin the investigation.
Alright.
By the way, Detective, I suppose it's a bit late to be asking, but why are you here?
Well, better late than never, I guess, sir.
I was placed on guard duty for the Babalese embassy today. And why are our police guarding an embassy? Well, on account of the card they got from the Yatagarasu. They called us up and asked for our help, sir. Oh, because we've been searching for the Yatagarasu for these past 7 years. It was more or less mutually beneficial arrangement, if you ask me. Except for how mutually Yo, I just still realized Sheena is holding Kay in a fucking half Nelson back there. Yo, let her go. Except for how mutually unbeneficial this has all turned out to be, I suppose. It looks like you failed to competently perform your guard duty yet again. Look forward to your next salary negotiation, although it's out of my hands. But sir, if it gets cut anymore, I won't be even able to buy packet noodles anymore. Gumshoe, no. Okay, so we still have Gumshoe in tow. Interesting. Alright, let's look at the body. So our victim was the secretariat of this embassy, I take it? Manny Cochin. I heard that he was an admirable person. Very admirable. The cause of death is a stab to the base of his neck. He was lax in watching his back. Stab to the base of the neck, seesaw niggas. Miles that nigga Edgeworth? No, it's Miles my nigga Edgeworth, Apollo that nigga Justice. Gumshoe's intestinal lining is all fucked up from eating nothing but pre-packaged noodles. Either that or he's built up an immunity to it. We were fortunate that the fire missed our victim's body for the most part. If the fire had burned a bit longer, it would have made identifying him a hassle. So Mr. Cochin was stabbed to death in the middle of a raging fire. What in the world happened inside this room? Notes on Cochin's body jotted down in the organizer. Alright. Oh, hey. I just noticed something in his fucking jacket pocket. Hey, bud, what you got there? There appears to be something in his pocket. This key. It can't be. Isn't this the Atagarasu's key that was stolen 7 years ago? What? But that's... Huh? 7 years ago? Oh! You mean that case where I was framed, sir? Yes, it's the piece of evidence that stole the life of Kay's father 7 years ago. Wasn't Phoenix big on eating packaged noodles too in Game 1? I believe so. It was because it was before he met, before he started frequenting Eldoon's noodles. Which was stolen by Callisto Yu. What? Mr. Faraday was killed with this key, sir? I thought he was killed with a knife. Hey! Scruffy, at the very least try to remember the details of the crimes you were a suspect in. Franziska, as you will recall, Detective Gumshoe was not present when Miss Yu made her escape. Plus, even among law enforcement, only a few knew of this key's existence. Maybe the packaged noodle starts out building your durability, and then Eldoon's noodles, if you eat those, they boost it by an exponential amount. That's why Phoenix was trying to push it so hard on Athena and Apollo. Plus, even among law enforcement, only a few knew of this key's existence. I doubt that a new rookie at the time would have been made privy to such knowledge. Oh, I feel like I'm the victim right now, all trampled on, sir. Huh. I suppose I'll just have to fill you in now. The secret to this key is... Oh, we're doing this again? Flip. I was honestly expecting it to be a little bit bloody. Him and Maya had a regular burger joint according to localization, didn't they? I believe so, yeah. Maya brought it up a couple times, and so did Phoenix. Oh, wow, that's kind of amazing, sir. It's like some kind of magic trick. Yeah, the Grass's key is back. I knew it. This is the same exact piece of evidence that Miss Yu took with her. I remember this beautiful pattern in the blade. I remember this as well. It's a vine motif, isn't it? Yes, it looks like two interwoven vines crisscrossing down the blade. Vine says? I think it looks like a bunch of stars, if you ask me. It's one of those six-sided stars, just like the police mark on our IDs. I really don't think you can call these stars. To say that the detective's art sense is underdeveloped would be an understatement. I mean, it's just a really long, six-sided star. It's still a hexagon. The real question is why the Babalese embassy secretary holding on to this. Well, we don't know how Mr. Cochin came to possess this key. We do know that this was stolen by the Yatagarasu from the Cadopian embassy.
Phoenix, don't fuck with burgers since eating them clearly makes you susceptible to kidnappings and being framed for fucking murder. Anything you do will just get you framed for murder if you eat burgers. Or kidnapped and then framed for murder. Or framed for murder and then kidnapped.
That's right. Mr. Faraday had written that fact down in his organizer. I believe this means that further research is required into the country of Cadopia. Why don't you ask Ambassador Palaiano what he knows? Supposedly he was a candidate to be the next Cadopian ambassador once long ago. He should be able to answer any specific questions you may have.
Alright, let's look at what appears to be the murder weapon.
Is this knife the murder weapon?
Some preliminary testing has been conducted. According to the results, the blood matches the victim's blood. The blade shape was also found to be consistent with the stab wound.
I suppose this means that we now know that the crime was committed with this knife.
This knife's got some really fancy ornamentation going on, huh, sir? Thing practically screams artsy to me, too. Although it's also covered in blood, just like the last thing I said was artsy.
But the handle is pristine. There's not a single drop of blood on it. Speaking of the handle, I believe it has a butterfly motif. It's very beautiful.
Phoenix was framed for murder, though, so clearly he had those burgers. Yeah, but he didn't have them as much as Maya had them, I think is the point. Yeah, he clearly ate the burgers, but he didn't eat them as much as Maya. And I have to jot it down in my organizer. Okay. So if he was stabbed in the base of the neck, what is this blood on his chest?
It's a knife wound. It's obvious what he was killed with, but I wonder if it's consistent with the wound.
Indeed. Phoenix was on trial 3 times. Which ones? The one for the murder of the college friend. Then Red White tries to turn 1-2 on him. And yeah, Apollo Justice. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So 3 times. Yeah, yeah. 3 times he was charged for murder. Or indicted by somebody, I guess.
This man, where do I know him from?
Come on.
This man, what?
Okay. Edgeworth. Please. Alright, is that all we're gonna get from him? I wonder. I mean, there doesn't appear to be much else, other than like a couple pieces of rubble. Maya's just seem like it's more numerous because she's also been kidnapped as well. Alright.
I can't believe that Manny fell among thieves tonight. Without him, I have no idea what my schedule for tonight is. Ambassador Palaiano, I believe your schedule tonight will be consisting of listening to reports from the police. That and only that. I ask you to cooperate not only for your own sake, but for Mr. Cochin's as well.
You're a rather strong man, aren't you? How fascinating.
Here, I know it isn't much, but I'd like you to have these. I'm sorry, but it would be against my principles to accept a bribe.
Oh, no. These are simply coupons we distribute to promote Baba. Remember, we offer a large number of discounts and offers when you visit lovely Baba.
Now I remember, the Republic of Babal is known for its feverish tourism industry.
Alright, Manny Cochin.
I was wondering if you might tell me a bit about the deceased, Manny Cochin.
He was my secretary, and the embassy secretariat charged with running the whole place.
He was an admirable man. His death is a great loss to our country.
He was in charge of everything, accounting, printing, taking care of our national treasures.
I'm sorry, but did you say printing?
Our country's primary source of revenue is tourism industry. So in order for us to print the necessary pamphlets, flyers, coupons, etc., we have a printing press here at our embassy.
I see. Please excuse my forwardness, however. I feel I should mention that I have the distinct impression that I've met him before.
Oh, yes. Since you are of the legal profession, I suppose you just might have. After all, Manny was involved in the KG-8 incident.
The KG-8 incident?
Apollo has not been accused, yeah. There's a couple characters that haven't been, but Apollo has dodged accusations because you're gonna accuse him. He's just gonna look at you and tell that you're lying.
The defendant who was found innocent in that case was Manny. So your Mr. Cochin is the same man as the one in that case. It's been 10 years. Manny recovered personally from that case and dove enthusiastically into this job. He was the one who planned this event and was to oversee the embassy's renovations. It really is a shame. He had such a bright future ahead of him.
Alright, renovations. Tell me about them.
What exactly did you mean earlier by renovations? We can't have tourists and visitors to our embassy think we're a poor nation, can we? So renovating the embassy is something of an investment. We have a rather paltry budget, but we're trying our best to make do. However, I guess the only person who could have helped us do our best is now no longer with us.
Cadopia. Why are you sweating so fucking hard, guy?
Ambassador Palaiano, I was wondering if I may ask you about Cadopia.
Cadopia?
Alright, what would you like to talk about? First, I'd like to ask you about this key.
What about this key?
I found it sticking out of Mr. Cochin's pocket. I believe it originally belonged to this embassy, is that correct?
Upon closer inspection, it seems that this key is shaped like a butterfly.
That's not all about this key, it's also capable of changing into a knife.
Okay, so when I said butterfly knife, I didn't realize exactly how right I was going to be. But now it makes a lot more sense that the knife is designed like that. That's actually a pretty cool touch. I kind of fuck with that. That's actually pretty neat. Huh. Who would have known? Oh, how fascinating.
Is it possible that the ambassador didn't know about the existence of this key?
In its knife form, there is a flower mark at the base of the blade. I guess this knife might be from when we used to be a part of Cadopia. Yeah, wait up. How'd you just... Is it because it has butterflies and a flower?
It has both of Cadopia's national symbols, the butterfly and the flower.
I suppose Manny used this key here at the embassy back when we were still Cadopia.
Ambassador Palaiano, this key was stolen from the Cadopian embassy 7 years ago, by Callisto Yu, otherwise known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu.
Oh, really?
You were not aware that Miss Yu had broken into this embassy at that time?
I'm sorry I can't be of much help. I'm not very familiar with the details, you see. I only became ambassador after Babal became its own independent nation.
But if Manny were still alive, he would probably know about what had happened back then. Mr. Cochin and Miss Yu knew each other 7 years ago. But that doesn't explain why I found the Yatagarasu key here in the present.
Once he's been alive for more cases than Mia? Yeah, and so is Gaspin. I hate those bastards. Alright. Wait, can I present, I don't think I have anything to present to him, right? Because we just talked about the knife. And we just talked about Manny. Okay, yeah, there's nothing really that I can present to him yet. I mean, actually, hold on. I could present this knife.
Oh dear, if people were to find out that a murder occurred... Okay, I guess not. The number of tourists would plummet, as would our revenues. It would be a disaster. What are we going to do? He really does seem worried. Perhaps I should refrain from bringing this up.
Gaspin has 5-1 and 6-1? Correct. Alright. What you got?
Miles Edgeworth. What is it? Let me tell you something. You are currently my subordinate. And if you wish to convince everyone else of that, you will speak to me with respect.
Yes, ma'am.
But with a giddy glint in her eyes. I don't think that will really be necessary, Franziska. Oh, really? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that you are still under me. I thought Franziska was flying around the world in pursuit of the smuggling case. So then why is she here at this embassy?
Wasn't Callisto... Yeah, so Callisto was involved in this murder, because she was part of the fucking smuggling ring. We got you, buddy. The murder.
I was investigating at the Alabastian embassy when I got wind of this mess. Oh, that's right, the Yatagarasu was due to appear in that embassy as well. Yes, but the difference is that we didn't have a fire over there. Although there was an incident at the Alabastian embassy as well, but I left Agent Lang in charge of that case and came over to the Babalese embassy. So Agent Lang is here as well, huh? I see you've met.
Well, he's in the Alabastian embassy acting as a bodyguard for Ambassador Alba. However, he seems to have a different reason for being there. Alright, talk to me about the Yatagarasu. So the suspect in the murder that occurred in this office is that little girl I see. Is she perhaps trying to be the Yatagarasu? Kay would never harm a soul, sir. Kay, you remember, do you not? About the case we investigated together 7 years ago. That girl is the daughter of the victim in that case, Mr. Faraday. So she's that feisty little girl. Kay has been on the trail of the Yatagarasu, which is how she ended up here, looking for the one who took her father's life. I see. Kay's trying so hard, but you know what? The Yatagarasu just keeps on tricking us all. How so? The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. She's not 1 year younger than... She's 3 years younger than 3 or 4 years younger than Franziska. All we've had is arson and a murder. The lab boys are going in circles. Because 3 years ago, or 7 years ago, Franziska was 13, and now she should be 20. 19. Oh, well, fuck. Maybe it just hasn't hit her birthday yet. Or maybe she has an early birthday. I don't know. Because when they say 7 years ago, something tells me this age don't really fucking add up. Yeah, Fran was 18 in Game 2. She was 19 in Game 3, so this very directly. So she just hasn't had her birthday yet. She's going to be 20 soon. But all we've had is arson and a murder. The lab boys are going in circles. You know what this is, sir? It's a breach of contract, and it's going on the rap sheet. If you ask me, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that nothing was stolen tonight. I do wonder, though, if Callisto Yu really is the Yatagarasu. Alright. So, I don't think we have anything else from her, as much as I would like to have more from her. Alright. What do we have for logic thus far? Motif on knife handle, Franziska's return, stealing of secret, key used at embassy. Franziska's return, stealing of secret. Bada bing!
Stealing your dirtiest secret. Is it possible that the dirty secret the Yatagarasu was up to steal is in this very room? Dirty secret? Franziska, you're in pursuit of some dirty, underhanded dealings yourself, are you not? Something tells me that this is no coincidence. In that case, then, the person I'm looking for is here in the Babalese embassy, huh? The head of the smuggling operation. I think I just might need to ask Franziska about her smuggling case in more depth.
And I guess we can connect these as well, right? Oh. I guess not. Huh. I guess that that's the first time I've failed a fucking logic connect. I thought it was good. Okay, so if you see a ball, you have to wait until that animation plays out to know if you're good or not. Hey, it's another butterfly.
I believe it's the symbol of the Republic of Babal. A drawing is big on the wall of an embassy. It definitely conveys a sense of overwhelming patriotism.
Well, I've got a lot of patriotism too, sir. The reason I became a cop in the first place was because I wanted to protect our country.
You may want to, Detective, however, I have yet to see the fruits of your desire.
You don't have to be so blunt about it, sir. Poor Gumshoe. Alright, smuggling.
Franziska, when we last talked, you said that you were on the trail of a smuggling ring. I suppose the reason you are here right now is related to that.
Yes. After analyzing the intel we've gathered from various countries, this embassy rose to the top of our list of sites to investigate, and this is what tipped us off.
This accounting document.
It's only one page of the whole thing, so we're not sure about the details. However, it's enough for us to grab onto the tail of the beast. For you see, this type of paper is only made in the Kingdom of Cadopia, which means that somewhere in the countries of Alabast and Babel is the head. The one pulling the strings behind the entire smuggling ring.
That's Franziska for you. She's amazing. Pursuing this case with all she has.
She is amazing, Edgeworth. You're right. Gumshoe's part where he holds up his fist looks like I'll never forgive the Japanese. Pretty accurate. Can we not go through? Sorry, but Interpol is still conducting its investigation beyond this point. I'm a subordinate of Miss Von Karma. Is there some reason why I'm being denied access? My superior clearly stated, don't you dare let anyone near the site. You got it? If I let you examine the site, my superior will get really angry at me. You know, Mr. Edgeworth, I feel really bad for the guy, so why don't we do as he says? Yes, I suppose we might as well. Alright. Fuck, it's kind of hard to navigate in here. Is that a safe? A small personal safe. This is Mr. Cochin's office, so perhaps he stored his most important documents in here. Of course it's locked. It appears we won't be able to open it without the key. Can we open it with the... Okay, no, I get it now. Motif and the butterfly have to connect, and then the lock's safe in the key. Okay. There we go. Now we got it.
Design on the knife's handle. It greatly resembles the special Babalese species of butterfly.
It does, doesn't it? Plus it says right here.
This knife is property of the Republic of Babal. Perhaps this means that the knife used in the crime was found right in this room? We know for a fact that the Atagarasu's key was used at this embassy. Furthermore, we found it in the victim, Mr. Cochin's pocket, which leads me to think that perhaps it is the key to this personal safe in his office.
Good thinking, sir. Let's go try it out.
It appears I was correct. The key that was left to us in the victim's pocket, it literally turned out to be the key to the next piece of the truth. What do we have here?
Hey, there's nothing inside. Do you think the Atagarasu made off with everything, sir? I haven't finished this case yet. Got to middle part 2. Well, I don't even know if we'll get there today. We might just push it until, depending on how long the beginning is, we might push until middle part 1.
No, Detective, I believe all we need is a closer look.
Alright, well, obviously the fucking scraps of paper, or the edges of paper down at the bottom here.
What is this here?
It looks like the ripped corner of a piece of paper, sir.
No, I don't think it's ripped. It seems more to me like it's stuck in the safe.
Hey, you're right. It won't even budge an inch. Not even when I thug on it. I don't think I've ever seen paper stuck on the inside of a staple before.
Detective, I think you have it backwards. It's not the paper that's strange. It's the safe.
What do you mean? You're about to reach middle part 1, I think. Okay. So, the safe is crazy because it's got an inner compartment, or it has 2 compartments, technically.
Even just eyeballing it, you can see the inside is a bit too shallow. Furthermore, with the unnatural way the paper is stuck at the back of the safe, I'd say that there is an extra bit of space behind the back wall of this safe. In other words, the safe has a second compartment.
What? I suppose that you are correct in asserting that the paper is stuck in an unnatural manner. However, if what you say is correct, and there is a second compartment, how do we go about opening the door to it then?
As you can see,
there is no other lock or keyhole in sight. What about that thing to the fucking right? Or the left, rather. On the right side of the safe facing outwards.
Actually, there is one more spot of interest to me on this safe.
Oh?
Yes, and I believe that spot is the keyhole to our mystery second lock.
The safe and its locks. Alright then, since you are so sure of yourself, show me how you deduced your answer. Huh, and we get to actually deduce. That's pretty neat. Alright.
Doesn't the shape of this keyhole remind you of something, Franziska?
The shape? It does look very familiar. However, I believe it's simply a latch hole for the safe's lock mechanism. It's just for keeping the door shut, nothing more.
Is that so? The person who used this safe, Mr. Cochin, made sure its safe had 2 compartments in order to hide something. Do you honestly think that someone would allow the keyhole to the hidden half to look so obviously like a keyhole that even the average person could figure it out?
You can't be serious. Are you saying that this hole is the keyhole to the hidden compartment of the safe?
That's precisely what I'm saying.
I'll never get over how weak the Eurekas are. Yeah. I mean, they could have, they could have really just given it like super base, like his contradiction and Hold It has. But as of right now, it's just kind of like, And I will prove it to you right now that the Yatagarasu's key is the key that will open it. The Yatagarasu's key. Miles Edgeworth, this had better be a very bad joke. Sorry, but this is no joke. The Yatagarasu's key is the very key that will open the second compartment of the safe. We know that this key opens the first compartment of the safe, but if the keyhole you're talking about is of an entirely different shape than that of the key, well no, you just shove the fucking knife in. Well, I guess I gotta fucking... How the fuck am I gonna do this? Okay, like this? Yeah. Look. Let's go over this again, shall we? The Yatagarasu's key was originally made to open Mr. Cochin's safe in the Cadopian embassy. We confirm that as a fact by opening the door to his safe with it. Now, let's take a look at the back end of the key. Looking at the knife portion head-on, what do you see? What are you It appears you've come to understand what I'm talking about. When viewed head-on, the knife's blade is the exact same shape as the keyhole. The real function of the knife portion is to act as the key to the hidden portion of the safe. But that's preposterous. Because it looks like a knife and was used like one to kill Mr. Faraday 7 years ago, we fell under the misconception that it was always meant to be a knife. But for both the safe and its key to conceal such clever tricks, whatever is hidden inside the secret section must be of incredible importance. Then, it's even possible that what I've been searching for is inside. Scruffy, hurry up and open that safe. Eek. Yes, sir. Opening it now, sir. These items there. It's a bunch of funny-shaped things. You're in the way. Now move, Scruffy. I didn't think I was in the way. These pieces of art. They're identical to the ones that have been stolen from various countries around the world. I figured as much. Big yawn. God damn. There are the treasures this section of the safe was hid from view. I believe a more thorough examination is required. Alright, well let's look at... Well, we have to deduce something here. This is the document that we thought was stuck earlier. I wonder what it's about. Beats me, sir. Why don't we take a look at it first before we give up, Detective? Well, it's got Manny Cochin's signature on it. I wonder what the significance of this document is. Alright, so, wait, do I have the other piece of paper? I do. So, it makes sense. Yeah, let's deduce. Yep. Has to be. Yeah, because it says 2 of the 3 at the top, and the other one had 1 of the 3 at the top, and I didn't see the second page in there, but take a good look at these documents, Francisca. Yeah, it says 3 of 3 on there as well. Interesting. It says that there are 3 pages in total, and yet there are only 2 here. Correct. Now take a look at the smuggling activity document in your possession. Tell me, is it not possible that your page was taken from this set of 3? Well, well. It certainly looks that way. By putting our multi-part puzzle together, we seem to have arrived at an answer. And it seems that you have now found what you were looking for. Yes, and what this has become crystal clear, that Mr. Cochin himself was responsible for the mass smuggling of Babalese ink. You're looking for ink? Babalese ink is a special product of the Republic of Babal. However, due to a special reason, only a limited volume is ever exported. And that reason is... That's classified. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. In any case, it seems that the head of the smuggling ring was our victim, Mr. Manny Cochin. His base was in an embassy, and thus it was hard for both our country and his to interfere, making it the ideal conditions under which to run a smuggling operation. But it's so frustrating. I lost the person I was to rain judgment upon with my whip of justice. Well, even if he is dead, we still have a responsibility to look into his misdeeds. You You expect me to whip a dead man? Well, I'm not interested.
Franziska, you must know that Manny Cochin was the suspect in the KG-8 incident.
Of course I know. On top of being the head of a smuggling ring, there is the matter of what really happened in that case that needs to be resolved. Alright. So we lost our deduce.
These are pieces of stolen art from around the world.
I wonder how much they're worth, especially this one. Eek! Scruffy, don't touch those valuable pieces of art with your filthy hands. Why, do you have any idea what would happen to you if one of them were to break?
Is it just me, or did she hit one of the pieces of art just now?
Come on. Come on. Alright. So. Can we read anything else on them?
The existence of this document in itself is quite important, isn't it?
Yes, it proves that Manny Cochin was the ringleader of the smuggling operation.
I suppose it does. It really does look that way, however. I don't believe this shows us all that he was up to. In order to find the truth behind his dealings, we'll need to continue investigating.
And I assume this is just more pieces of art. Yep. Alright. So, Kay and Sheena.
Kay, are you alright?
You believe me, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't think I did it, right?
Yes, of course I don't, and I promise to prove that it wasn't you.
That's enough chit-chat. You can investigate all you'd like, but it's only a matter of time before we take her in. It would be wise of you to give up while you can.
No, I don't think so. Kay isn't lying, and my investigation will prove that to be true.
Go ahead and try, then, if you're that confident.
I can't allow this to continue on this way. I must prove her innocence post-haste.
What about the statue? Statue. Because this is a national treasure, can I ask that you please not touch it? Sure. I'm afraid the only ones allowed to touch it are myself and the Secretariat. Okay.
But there is a possibility that that is related to the murder. Wouldn't you agree?
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, why don't we give up for now? We can force them to let us investigate it later when we find some solid proof.
I suppose I don't have a choice here. This must be one of the primitive statues Kay was talking about earlier. Is it just me, or does this man look like the Steel Samurai? They could be twins.
Edgeworth really is the biggest fan. Alright. And now, Mr. Edgeworth, there's still something on this display rack, sir.
Knives, huh? Although the blades are all that remain of them, unfortunately.
I guess the handles all got burnt off by the fire. Oh shit, what the hell? What drug sale? What the hell? What's going on, Eve? Ah, so even the knives fell victim to the fire.
Master Palliano, are these knives yours?
Why, yes, they are. They are a special set of ornamental knives featuring the national symbol of the bar. These butterfly-themed knives, along with the Alabast's own set of knives, are comprised of 3 knives each. But I can't believe that the Babalese ones have been reduced to this state. Trying to chill, fair enough.
Ornamental knives, huh? There's a small release on the tang of this blade. Ambassador Palliano, what is this notch here for?
Oh, that. It's a feature of these knives wherein you can freely exchange the handles on them. So that we... Okay, so you can take one of the knives, remove it from its handle, and place it in another handle to make it look like it's from another place. Interesting. I'm glad these characters came to their senses and realized that Gumshoe was too dumb to kill someone in these games. Yes.
I see. So these knives were constructed so that the handles could be easily removed.
Investigation complete. Fair enough. We got the information we needed. Are you done investigating? You realize now, don't you, that this girl could be the only one? Now then, come along quietly, Yatagarasu K. Faraday. You are under arrest for the murder of Manny Cochin. Mr. Edgeworth, please, you have to believe me. I didn't do it. I chased the fake Yatagarasu in here and he was already... You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm right here, nigga.
I'd like to help you reduce the number of mistaken arrests Interpol makes.
What is that supposed to mean?
I believe I told you that Kay Faraday is not the culprit of this crime. Very well. I suppose I have no choice. I'll show you just how foolish your claims are. Well, free K, with a purchase of K of equal or lesser value. Why arrest K? Even your police confirmed that the Yatagarasu infiltrated the Babalese embassy tonight. Utilizing the confusion caused by the fire, the Yatagarasu snuck into this embassy. Furthermore, this girl claims to be the Yatagarasu, and more importantly, other than her, there was no one else in here with the body. Okay. Your reason for suspecting Kay is because you think she's to be the Yatagarasu. Anything you say or do will be you get anything you say or do will be used against you. I'm gonna need Christiel Francisca's rip. Yeah. I mean, Abe has been one of the thirstier people in chats, but definitely not the thirstiest. We'll give him that. Exactly. But it isn't just me. She calls herself the Yatagarasu. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I was only out to capture the fake Yatagarasu. Imposter or not, it matters not. A Yatagarasu is a Yatagarasu. Very well, then I shall prove that Kay is not the Yatagarasu who killed Manny Kochi. Go ahead and try. Show me what the prosecutors of this country are made of. Who's the thirstiest? Well, he replied right after you spoke, Gallus, so... Why arrest Kay? Alright. So, she's... Yeah, hold on. She claims to be the Yatagarasu, but... she also is saying that the Yatagarasu is doing things that are fake. Or that there happens to be somebody that's fake. So hold on, let's press. Just because she calls herself that, it doesn't prove that she is a killer. No, but it does give her a motive. The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, "I'll be there to steal your dirtiest secret." Furthermore, there are documents pertaining to some smuggling activity in this room. She obviously wanted to steal them, so she killed Mr. Cochin for the key. I see. Wait, no. No. If she killed him for the key, then she would have gotten into the safe, right? She didn't steal anything from the safe. Her logic is very sound. I expect nothing less of an Agent Lang's secretary. However, that statement just now didn't sound right. It might just be the opening I need. She wanted to steal documents? No, she didn't. She did not. Because she didn't use the key. Got him, GG's. Agent Sheena, I regret to inform you, but there is a flaw in your logic. Oh? Even if you claim that she is the killer and the Yatagarasu, I am certain that securing the smuggling documents is not the motive behind the murder. The key to the safe in this room was found on Mr. Cochin's body. Furthermore, the Yatagarasu would not be so stupid as to leave the room without the documents. Yeah, look at you. Look at you and look at you. I'm glad that they chose us. By the simple fact that the documents were still in the safe when we looked, it's obvious that the killer's target was not the safe at all. Then perhaps she didn't know that Mr. Cochin had the key on him. It was sticking out of his fucking pocket. If that's the case, then why would she have needed to kill him? Because I can think of no reason for her to kill him if she had not known that fact. Need reason? All of this is simply conjecturing after the fact. It's entirely possible that she accidentally killed him when she was sneaking in. How? Perhaps she didn't notice the safe's second compartment before returning the key. What? No, because you could see the papers at the fucking bottom. But the fact still remains that Mr. Cochin was stabbed to death. But you have no definitive proof that it was Kay who committed the act. Actually, I do. I saw her holding the knife she used on the victim with my own eyes. What? Allow me to tell you a bit more about the evidence that will put her away behind bars. Definitive evidence. The knife wound on the body is consistent with the blade of the knife. The knife with the butterfly handle is the murder weapon, which the killer was holding. I assume she obtained the knife from the display rack and used it on the victim. The
knife is part of a special 3-piece set, which has a design like no other. I hate when this happens. Oh, I saw this go down. Why not just lead with that? Of course. Never lead with that. Make it mysterious. Make it crazy. That way, everybody will be confused. The evidence and testimony, it all points to this girl. There is no counter-argument.
That is your definitive evidence.
You see now that she is definitely the killer, right? No, Mr. Edgeworth, you've gotta believe me. Well, I mean, I do believe you. Because those knives can be switched out with handles. And if you were holding the fucking handle, it doesn't mean that you were holding the knife. Kay's design looks cool. Yeah, I actually am a big fan of Kay's design.
And you came in here because you were chasing this suspicious person.
That's right, I ran into this office only because I was chasing after that person. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the lights, but then... Yeah, you found a body. Who's there? This is... I came to this room upon hearing the girl's scream, and when I saw her holding the knife, I immediately restrained her. Not a fan of the eyes of this art style. I think it looked better in Spirit of Justice for sure. Yeah, that's also fair too. I think Kay would look great as a model instead of a 2D art asset.
So the object Kay felt by her feet on the floor was the murder weapon.
I had the knife analyzed right away, but we failed to find anyone's prints on it. But the suspicious person in the black coat who came into this room before me... You continue to insist there was such a person, but if there was, where did they go? That, I don't know, but I know they came in here. That sounds like the desperate excuses of a suspected killer, not a trustworthy testimony. You understand, don't you? We can't trust this girl's words, Mr. Edgeworth.
She has a point. Even if Kay's words are the truth, I must show that they are with some solid evidence.
Mr. Edgeworth, I really didn't...
Kay, don't worry. If you didn't do it, then there must exist a way for me to prove it.
Still not giving up, I see. In that case, try to counter my argument if you can.
Don't worry, I can and I will.
Damn. No bluffs, just Edgeworth. No gods, no kings, only Edgeworth. Alright, the knife with butterfly handle is a murder weapon, which the killer was holding, except you can swap the handles out, and there was no blood on the handle. What's up, Josh?
So the murder weapon was the knife with the butterfly design on it. But is that really the truth?
What are you getting at?
Now I'd like you to take a look at this. There is blood on the blade, and yet there is not a speck of blood on the handle.
Tired as fucking. How you doing, brother? Pretty much the same. My sleep schedule has been super fucked since the stay-at-home order.
This signifies that at the time of the crime, a different handle was attached to this blade. The knife that Kay was holding had its handle switched and was in fact not the real murder weapon.
It wasn't the real murder weapon.
This knife can be taken apart. Shall we give it a go?
We'll just slide that handle off, buddy. Can I not? Okay, just... Yeah, there we go.
As you can see, the Babalese knife has now been disassembled into two parts. The killer must have pulled this murder weapon out of the victim's body and proceeded to swap the knife's handle with the original handle with its butterfly one. It was all to create the illusion that Mr. Cochin was killed with a butterfly-themed knife.
Got him, jeez.
This should clear up any and all suspicion surrounding Kay.
Yep, the Babalese knife handle. Your argument isn't airtight yet.
How so?
It's possible that the girl herself is the one who switched the handles.
Don't be ridiculous. For what purpose would she do such a thing?
I don't care to know how a criminal thinks. The way they view the world is beyond the comprehension of a normal person like myself. Therefore, I wouldn't put anything past them, no matter how odd it may seem.
The truth is right there in front of you, and this knife will show you the way. You will come to see that Kay is not and could not have been Mr. Cochin's killer.
It's the fucking this thing, because if we look at it a little bit closer, it's got the flower symbol. What is this mark on here?
It's the mark of a flower. I assume you know what this means.
No, not really. Oh, We got you. Butterflies rest on flowers all the time to drink their sweet nectar.
And so they do. However, would this butterfly really drink from the nectar of this flower? The answer is clearly not a chance. Now, to prove the relationship between the butterfly and the flower with this...
Yeah, embassy guide.
You can't be serious. It appears that you've made the connection. The flower on this blade is designed after a certain country's national symbol. That's right, the Kingdom of Alabast. In other words, this blade is from one of Alabast's ornamental knives.
Got him. Here you go.
This part of the knife head has Bobble's national symbol of the butterfly on it. Therefore, it is undeniably Bobbly's in origin. But as we both know, you just can't kill someone with a knife head. Incidentally, exactly when did the murder occur again, Agent Sheena? After the fire had broken out. That's right, Kay entered the Bobbly's embassy after the fire had taken place. Furthermore, she had not been to the Alabastan side of the building before then. On top of that, not a single person passed between the two countries during the fire, which means that Kay could not have transported an Alabastian object over here. This makes it impossible for her to be the true killer.
Well, GG's. Oh, we got him, boys. Or we've proven innocence, boys. Also, Josh, any updates on any of those campaigns? Because I'm looking to join now that I have quite literally nothing to do.
Whoop! Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. What a great victory.
I'll send you a DM. Perfect. Why is everyone so quiet?
I'm happy we got this far and I cleared Kay's name.
I might have to respond later, though, because I'm going to continue on with this for a little bit.
But what worries me now is what will happen next. What is the meaning of this? An Alabastian knife here? Do you mean, how did this find its way to the Republic of Babal? It didn't just find its way over, rather we should focus on how it was smuggled over.
You know what? My brain hurts thinking about it while we're just standing around. Thinking while you're on the run? Now that's the way a real great thief operates.
Kay...
Oh, thanks a bunch, Mr. Edgeworth. Proving me innocent, I mean. You believed in me the whole time, right? Tell me you did.
I'm not really, but...
Come on, you don't have to be shy about it.
Your argument is still not airtight. Would you care to elaborate?
I understand now that the girl didn't commit the murder. However, there is still the possibility that she is the Yatagarasu. And so if that's the case, then... If she's saying that the Yatagarasu couldn't commit the murder, but the Yatagarasu was talking about stealing secrets, isn't it possible that it's just fucking a different person? Sheena, come on. That again? Look, how many times do I have to explain it to you? I'm the real Yatagarasu. I'm not like that fake one that goes around setting fires, okay? Whether you're the real deal or a fake, it doesn't really matter. All I have to say is this. I have my suspicions that this girl is the one who started the fire.
Preposterous. On what grounds do you suspect her of such a thing?
The fact that she calls herself the Yatagarasu. That in itself is a most elegant proof. Miss Sheena. Yes? I have no intention of taking back any of what I've said. I am the great thief Yatagarasu, and I refuse to allow some imposter to claim that name as their own. The path of justice that my father pointed me towards, I will walk it the best I can. It's not good to be so stubborn. I hope you can understand that. Thanks a lot for the concern, Miss Sheena. Let me share something with you too as a token of my appreciation. Those sunglasses totally do nothing for you, so I'll steal them from you next time, okay? Shit on. Well, I guess we better get going. Going to where? To the Kingdom of Alabast. If we don't go, we won't know for sure, right? I suppose not. We won't get anywhere simply by standing here thinking. To see where the Alabastian knife came from, we'll have to pay the Alabastian embassy a visit. Let's go, Miles Edgeworth. As you are my subordinate, I will not tolerate you bringing the investigation to a halt.
Understood.
That's actually a fire group right there. Gumshoe, Miles, Kay, and Franziska. And there is our to be continued. So we'll probably do middle part 1 and then end for today, depending on how long it is. I assume it's going to be decently long, but all things depending, of course. But let's go ahead and start to check it out. March 14th, 7:44 p.m. via Trim Neutralis lobby. This case is pretty long for what I remember. Count off. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Shifu, 99 callouts. So, okay. So all 99 members are most likely here and accounted for, sir. Hey, you. Yeah, the second number 1 from my right. Sir, yes, sir. Here, a birthday present for you. What? Shifu, I didn't know that you knew all of our birthdays. What a kind heart you have. Shifu, you are more of a man than we'll ever be, sir. I'm really sorry, but it's not my birthday. It's Fire, but Dot's Dirk, Nayuda, and Apollo. That's the 92 Dream Team right there. That's correct. Lang Z says a couple disrespect others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. My present isn't for you. It's for your younger brother's wife's younger brother. What? Tell him I said hi and happy birthday, won't you? Yes, sir. Shifu, I can't believe you remember that much about each of us. Shifu, I'm so moved that I can't stop crying. I should probably leave them to their alone time. Alright, meeting's over. Everyone head for your posts. Dismissed. Sir. And there they go. Yo, were you guys there the whole time? I got a call from Sheena, and she's already filled me in. About how I dusted her? Like a fucking dirty lamp? I washed that bitch. It sounds like you're going to get in my way again. I have absolutely no intention of interrupting your investigation. I simply request that you grant me permission to investigate the Alabastian embassy. And what if I say no? Agent Lang, this man is my subordinate. As I have received permission from the ambassador, he is to be extended the same rights. Sorry, sis, but it's not that simple. Alabasta has the strictest immigration regulations in the world, or didn't you know? Even among my elite men, only about half of them were admitted into the country. Besides, any more cooks in the kitchen, we might spoil the soup, if you get what I mean. How dare you make such assumptions? Don't take this the wrong way, but I thought it was in charge of Alabasta, Miss Von Carver. Yeah, I mean, that did seem like the agreement that you guys had. Look, try to understand, okay? Things over in Alabasta are a bit of a mess right now. What do you mean by a bit of a mess? No one told you? We had an incident in Alabasta as well. This is what we call a decision based on investigation, Mr. Prosecutor. Look, Wolfie, just let us in already. Hold it. Who there? Is there a problem here, Agent Lang? Ooh, old nigga. Crocodile fucking shit up. That's what's going on in Alabasta? Yeah. Luffy and Crocodile just throwing hands over there. Not really. Just having a discussion about whether or not to let these guys in. Ambassador Alba, I ask that you please allow these people to join the investigation. He's old. He looks like a fucking tree. Having a debate because of my country. I'm terribly sorry for placing you good people in that kind of situation. It is all because I lack the strength to govern well. Please, it is nothing of the sort, Ambassador. You weakling, witness. Curse your frailty and inability to effect change in your country. What are you... The thing is, investigations conducted in my country have been under Agent Lang. And it is my judgment that in order to minimize disruption in the investigation, I should leave everything up to Agent Lang. There, you see. Oh, no way. Oh. Old versus young. Ambassador Alba, I ask you please reconsider letting them into Alabasta. What's that?
My very own secretary has been murdered in the Babalese embassy, and he was apparently caught up in some very shady dealings completely unbeknownst to me. So I ask you for your cooperation in our investigation. These aren't much, but I hope they can cover your travel expenses to Babal someday.
Alright, I get it. Even if you beg Ambassador Alba, I still have to give the final okay anyway. Alright, you hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? We're in. Not so fast, my little crow girl. You're still a witness in the Babal murder. So I'd like you to please stay in the Republic of Babal.
Detective Gumshoe, please take good care of Kay for me.
Yes, sir. Sounds good to me. Fewer troublemakers, the better. Rasp. Rasp. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes?
So I wanted to ask for a while now, but that lady over there, is she who I think she is?
Oh, that's right. I didn't introduce the two of you yet.
Franziska von Karma, the prosecutorial prodigy. It's nice to see you again. Oh, I knew it! You're the whip lady! You may address me as Miss von Karma. Miss von Karma, I leave the investigation of Alabast in your hands. Thanks. Rest assured, I will outsmart both the smuggling ring and the Yatagarasu.
The smuggling ring, huh? Perhaps I should ask Franziska a bit more about them before I head into Alabast. And I mustn't forget to thank Ambassador Palliano for all he's done for me.
Alright, Franziska first.
You've made so much progress in your investigation in such a short period of time. It's truly amazing.
Agent Hicks, whose help I had requested, was cut down before he completed his task. There is no room for future failure in my perfect investigation.
In spite of that, I believe you were about to obtain some insight into the ring, correct?
It was nothing. I simply made some deductions based on the smuggled item I was following.
You mean the Babalese ink? But why are there restrictions on the export of Babalese ink to begin with?
That's classified Interpol info.
Franziska, as your subordinate, I'm part of your investigation. Don't you think it would be beneficial if I was as well informed as you?
Point taken. Very well, I will fill you in. Recently we discovered that some very well-made counterfeit bills circulating in Zhengfa.
Counterfeit bills?
Yes, and as you may have deduced, the counterfeits are being made with Babal's special Babalese ink. It's virtually impossible to distinguish bills made with Babalese ink from real ones. Thus, it was only natural for Interpol to keep an eye on the Republic of Babal.
That's where this document comes into play, correct?
Correct. Mr. Kosher was smuggling large amounts of Babalese ink. Furthermore, he was charged with running the embassy's printing equipment. That's all the evidence I needed to know that he was the head of the smuggling ring. However, there remains one tiny problem.
Let me guess, you still have yet to find the counterfeit bills or the smuggled ink.
Yes, and while we're listing things, I might as well add the counterfeit plates to the pile. Since we haven't been able to locate any of these items in the Babalese embassy, we're looking into the Alabastian embassy next. It doesn't matter where they're hidden, mark my words, I will find them. Counterfeit bills, data jotted down. Alright, and now, Mr. Palliano.
Ambassador Palliano, I am in your debt.
No, it's nothing. Because it's about all I can do for you, I'm afraid.
I only ask that you please bring Manny's killer to justice. I will, Ambassador, on my honor.
Whoa, you're so sensational. You really piqued my curiosity.
I know they aren't much, but I'm giving them to you wholeheartedly.
More coupons.
No, that's quite alright.
Oh, well, how about this then? Wait. Yo, hold on.
And what exactly is it?
It's fountain pen ink, known as Babalese ink. It's made exclusively in Babal.
Oh, so this is Babalese ink.
We make it from wood crystal oil, which is mined in our mineral mines. Please accept this ink. The one dip of your fountain pen in this, and you can write for hours in your organizer.
How fortunate for me. The ink in my pen just happened to have run out. I'll gladly accept your gracious gift.
Now, Miles, I know that you're not stupid. What happens when somebody says, hey, what are you doing with that counterfeit ink on you? Mark my words, I'll beat man's ass if he got expired coupons. Yeah, these coupons don't work. What do you mean they don't work? I mean, they don't work. But what does that mean? I'll start screaming. The son of a bitch. Alright, here, let me see. Let me see what I can do here. Oh wait, I forgot it's past 2 p.m. I need to log into Granville and get shafted in another daily multi. Hold on. Golden Week, daily bonus. Also GG on that Ghost Rider. Yeah, no, that was... I think I got to like 308 before she dropped. Alright, let's do this free draw. Yeah, SR, nothing. Woo! I got a Silver Moon. Let's go. Always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Yeah. I have a +10 Celica if I didn't get 4 Nagis and 3 Adel Shards. Oh, so you finally ended up getting her. That's crazy.
Great, wonderful. I guarantee to you that writing with our ink is an unforgettable experience. And so since we don't export, if you run out, you're always welcome to come and visit our fair nation. Talk about cornering the customer along with the market. Well, shall we get going? What's wrong, Kay?
I didn't get permission to enter Alabast, so we're going to go gather whatever info we can on the Bobolese side, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you two.
Okay, so over on the Bobolese side, we're literally going to have Dumb and Dumber. I don't know how I feel about that. At least I got a +5 before I gave up, stopped getting greens. I didn't, like, I wanted to get a green fucking Celica, but I'm fine with Nagi as well. But I haven't gotten anything else on that banner other than the fucking free summon Edelgard that I've gotten, and I don't know how to feel about that. Because I know if I keep summoning for green on there, I'm going to get another Edelgard, and I'm going to be upset.
Alright, I'm counting on you two.
Right, and I'm counting on you and Miss Von Karma to sniff out clues in Alabast. Oh, and Mr. Edgeworth, if you happen to come across my phony, you let me know, okay? If you tell me, I'll rush on over straight away no matter where you are.
I'll let you know when the time comes.
Peace, little nigga. March 14th, 8:17 p.m., Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador's Office. This one's virtually untouched. Yo. Where you running? How are you trying to go for ISO rankings, Chris? I mean, maybe top 40%, but I have no idea. Realistically.
What do you think you're doing to my subordinate?
Gotta take it off.
You're...
God damn it. Son of a bitch. When something smells, it's usually the butts. Edgy, oh thank heavens you're here. I'm in a really, really big pickle, your lordship. The raven, it appeared, poof, and then it disappeared, swoosh. And though I am the steel samurai, my sword, I'm so confused. I don't know what anything means anymore. Who is this fruitcake? I'm Larry of the House Butts, married man of Neo Old Tokyo, milady. Now I remember. This is one of your friends, isn't he, Miles?
Yes, frighteningly enough, he is.
Hey, what's up with that answer? Your best bud is in a bind and you act like it's no big deal?
What sort of bind are we talking about here?
The suspect kind. I accidentally became a suspect in a murder.
I see, that is quite the bind.
Told you, Chris, to leave these mascots alone. He ran into me! That's not my fault. That's all him. Not that we're the least bit surprised.
Yes, I pretty much expected this news. From the instant I saw this unlucky face. His name is Larry Butts. I've known him since grade school, and for as long as I've known him, he's been the world's largest source of trouble with a capital T.
Hey, what kind of introduction is that? You're so mean, Edgy. I mean, if you're not careful, you might find your tiny number of friends go down by 1.
That was uncalled for. Besides, you're... Wait, hold on. Larry, it was you. You're the one who wrote my Steel Samurai autograph.
Oh, you didn't notice earlier? I even winked at you through my headpiece. What's going on? Why are you beet red? Dog. Dreams shattered. Edgeworth dreams have been shattered. No.
Sorry, but could you not speak to me right now?
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting your comical yet melodramatic play.
So this is the incident you mentioned earlier.
Mr. Prosecutor, this man, this childhood friend of yours, is our prime suspect. Of what, you ask? The murder of a man who had snuck into... Oh, Master Mask the Second. I thought it was actually gonna be fucking Ron Delight. That would have sucked. Jesus Christ.
Master Mask the Second.
Dog, this one's pulling out auto stops. Hold on.
Only Larry could get himself into yet another mess as fine as this. But no matter what the facts seem to say, Larry is not the type to commit murder. He's far too stupid. Still, it's a rather daunting stroke of misfortune I've struck. I have to prove that Larry Butts is innocent of all wrongdoing.
Shifu, we've identified the victim. Good work, I'll take that report now. I just thought it was Master Mask because I thought the exclamation marks was, or you thought it was exclamation marks and not the second. Yeah, a little bit as well. And then I read it a little bit more carefully.
Agent Lang, would you mind if I took a peek at it as well?
What did I tell you earlier, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't get in my way. There's only enough flesh here to feed one wolf, and that is me. Only the second time Larry's been accused? No. If you count the slight shift to him in 6-5, it's the third time. Because he got accused very first case. There was a slight shift to him in 6-5, and now with this. I feel like I'm missing one though. No, because he wasn't accused in he wasn't accused for 3-5. He was just there. So no, you may not take a peek.
But Agent Lang.
Oh, all the warriors. Agent Lang, will you allow us to, without an investigator such as myself, to take a look? Yes, of course. You can let the detective see the file. He was in 3-2 but not accused as well, I think. Yeah, correct. Yeah, he was like, there was a slight thing where it was like, okay, like he wasn't the main defendant that we had. That was obviously the bride, but Larry had that shifted onto him for a small minute because it was like, okay, so you hid the body because you felt that you were slighted and you wanted to make it up to the girl you liked. So it wasn't like it wasn't a main push, and it was very easily swatted down, but for a moment he was somebody that was being accused.
You're Detective Bad.
Wait, how old does that make him? Does that make him like fucking 65, 66? Fuck. I guess we don't have him yet. The man under the steel samurai mask, a friend. The suspect in the Damask case, too. Yeah, the prosecutor, Mr. Edgeworth, right? He was 53? Okay, so he's 60. I forgot what his age was. I didn't know if he was... I knew he was in his 50s, I just didn't remember how old he was.
Fancy meeting you here, Detective.
You weren't expecting me? Ever since that day 7 years ago, I've chased after the Yatagarasu, non-stop. I even pressured Interpol into keeping me in the loop, in case a card was ever found.
What incredible dedication to the case.
Detective Bad knows the Yatagarasu's MO very well, and his passion for the chase hasn't died down in these 7 long years. It's something I can respect. But, Detective Bad, I must ask, are you going to make an ally out of this prosecutor? My only goal is to arrest the Yatagarasu. If he can get to the bottom of this case, I'm willing to share some info with him.
I'm in your debt, Detective Bad.
Alright, what you got for me?
About the murder of Damask II, will you be willing to fill me in on a few of the details?
When the Yatagarasu showed up, Agent Lang and I took ourselves off guard duty. We put ourselves in charge of directing things at this crime scene. Mirror? Yeah! Taking advantage of the chaos, Damask II, he broke into this embassy. Probably to steal some treasure or another.
And I suppose he lost his life when he was forced to fight with someone else in this room.
Alright, suspect time.
Why exactly was that man placed under arrest, Detective?
That samurai.
He was born looking suspicious, but not for the reasons you suspect, I assure you. As you can plainly see, he is completely harmless.
Well, it was just a random guess. It's not like he's actually under arrest. Tonight, here at the Alabastian Embassy, Ambassador Alba was to give a commemorative speech, and that's when the Yatagarasu showed. But keep in mind, the Yatagarasu isn't who I'm talking about right now. Those seats, for the guests who had been called to sit in them, were empty.
A no-show. Who was it that failed to take their seat?
It was Larry. The Steel Samurai. Until the speech was to begin, each member of the entire Steel Samurai family was to wait in a separate room. However, for some weird reason, that man was spotted in a different location than his assigned room at that time.
And where was he?
He was on the roof with one of his legs down a chimney. Larry Claus! That chimney leads directly into this room.
Larry Butts, you've really outdone yourself this time. What were you thinking? In any case, I believe it's high time for me to start my investigation.
Larry did dress as Santa that one time? Yeah. All of his fits are different. Alright.
There are some weapons on display on this wall. A crossbow, and under that, a set of knives bearing a flower motif. They must be the counterparts to the Babalese knives, which means that the blades inside these scallops should match the blade that was used to kill Mr. Cohen,
Except for one. Right, so... What does... Oh, also the Steel Samurai Spear. Can we examine these a little bit more?
Knives are adorned with flowers are here on display. I suppose that these are the counterparts to the Babalese knives. The blades on these knives should match the blade on the knife that killed Mr. Cochin.
But one won't.
One of the knives is missing its blade. Let's see if the two pieces, the blade and the handle, fit each other.
Yep.
It would appear that they fit together quite well, almost seamlessly.
Show Larry something random for his generic response later. Perfect.
But how?
Also, we need to go back to that that staging area so I can look at that step ladder. I haven't forgotten about it. Alright. So. Is this a Steel Samurai Spear, or is it different? Yep, Samurai Spear. Isn't it awesome? I totally fell for this thing. It's sleek and shiny, just like my heart. It comes at you like whoosh. When you hold it, you just want to live life like bam.
You do well to watch what you say, Larry. Although it is just as Larry says, the spear is quite the symbol of valor. However, speaking of spears, aren't you supposed to use them by thrusting them straight into your opponent? I'm not entirely convinced the spear is up to the task.
What's wrong, Edgy? You're just staring off into the distance. Oh, I get it. I'll tell you what. I'll tell the studio to make you one, okay? But this one's mine.
Did I say anything about wanting one? Maybe I could shut up if I show him a piece of evidence. I will point something out about this spear.
What in particular? Oh, the autograph. It has a spear on it.
Is this spot?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Larry, about this spear.
Oh, are you feeling it? Bam!
I thought there was something strange about this spear. Tell me, Larry, is it just me, or is this spear a bit bent?
What? No, it's exactly as it should be, yo.
I have here the autograph you wrote for me earlier. Now take a good look at this, which you drew with your own hands.
To Mr. Edgeworth from Steel Samurai Daddy. That's crazy.
You can see that the spear is clearly of a different shape. What do you have to say to that?
I'm sorry. When I hold the spear in my hands, all of a sudden I feel super... Did you fucking bend it, breaking it on something? Then during practice I was spinning it around and bam, it hit the wall. You unbelievable. This is an embassy. But I've always been like that. Ever since I was a kid. One time on an overnight field trip, I bought a fake sword and played with it late that night. I'm just a useless hot-blooded man.
Larry, clarify that for me, will you?
Okay, so it was some field trip and I began to shadow fight with myself.
Not that. I meant what you said earlier about spinning the spear and hitting the wall.
Oh, that. It's no biggie. It's not like I left a hole or anything.
That's not why I'm asking, Larry. The samurai spear is made of metal. I somehow doubt that a move as simple as spinning it around would cause it to bend.
Man, Edgy, you're so naive.
Where did that come from?
Well, you keep calling it the samurai spear, but it's not real. You can't really fight someone with it. Because it's hollow on the inside. You could hit it against practically anything and it would bend.
Is that so?
Don't tell me you thought it was real. Oh, but don't take it the wrong way. I just think that part of your personality is cute. I see. Your friendship truly is something special, Miles Edgeworth.
That's not friendship, that's utter humiliation.
Alright. Dream shattered. Edgeworth is really just getting shit on for no reason. Alright, so we got the spear added. Alright. Let's... it is so hard to fucking move in this area.
The person shaking hands with the steel samurai in this picture is Ambassador Alba. It was taken just before the murder. The steel samurai must be very popular. They're even using the national treasure as the backdrop.
I just don't understand. What exactly is so great about Top Knot there?
Clearly, there is a depth to this show that a young person like you can't fathom.
Speaking of young people, aren't young children the target audience of this show of costume actors? Bro, niggas is gonna stop trying to flame Miles and the show. Specifically Miles for liking the show. You just shut up back there. Just calm down. Alright, so interesting to note is that from that picture, this statue was turned to face the left.
There was the exact same statue sitting in that Babali's office we examined. It's the Primitic statue.
It's the Primitic statue. It was the national treasure of the Principality of Cadopia.
There was only one of these statues, meaning that one of the two is a replica. But both Alabast and Babal claim to have the real thing. What an incredibly childish fight to have.
Bro, one thing I'm noticing about Edgeworth is that he has way more, like, aggressive or, like, condescending thoughts, and sometimes some of them just slip out. It proves that Edgeworth's manners are very well trained, except sometimes he just, like, it just boils over. Sometimes he's just like, yes, no, you're a fucking idiot, and that comes out. I respect that. I vibe with that one. Okay, so... do I have to... do I have that picture in the notes? Yeah, I do. Okay. Deduce.
Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Look at this photo and tell me what you find odd about this scene, Miss Von Karma.
The apparent joy on the ambassador's face as he shakes that Top Knot's hand?
That's not it. I was trying to point out that the statue in the photo is facing a different way.
You're right.
The statue is a national treasure. As such, only an ambassador or secretariat-level person is allowed to handle it. The fact that the statue is facing one way in this photo, and now it's facing a different direction in this preserved crime scene, is proof that someone touched the statue around the time of the crime.
I assume it's not going to have any prints on it, though. It's a Primiduck statue. There was one of these on the Babali side as well. I hear it's very valuable and was made of pure gold. It was National Treasure of Cadopia. Yeah. Alright. So, fuck. It is really hard to navigate in this area. So many niggas in here.
So, this is the victim, Damask II.
What is with his gaudy outfit?
You don't know about Mask Damask? A few months ago, this thief caused a lot of havoc at the populace.
So this thief is separate from the Yatagarasu.
I thought they were for a while, because their MO and targets were different. Damask likes high-value trinkets and jewels, and being gaudy is his signature. Gumshoe was in charge of that investigation, so he'd know more about Damask.
That's alright. All I'd probably hear are tales of his failure anyway.
You haven't changed a bit, I see. In any case, let's get started here, shall we?
rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny, and every suspicious-looking crook and nanny. Alright, so what's with this paper? What is he holding? It looks like a piece of paper from a notepad. It would appear that directions on how to reach this room were written by hand. There was something written on the back as well. I'd like you to steal the Prividuct statue in this room. What is that supposed to mean? Who writes a note to themselves like that? If I have to guess from the text, I would say this is actually a request from someone about what to steal. Just who is the person that requested the theft of the Prividuct statue? Alright. So he was cut on the base of his neck, it seems. Or on his back, and we can't see it, but from where the blood spatter happens, it looks like it's either head or back of the neck. I thought the Damask had quit the business. This guy is just a copycat using the name, a phony successor. He's just another petty thief. His real identity is an out-of-work guy by the name of Kashinu. Kashino? What? Kashino? Interesting. He's 29 and wanted on larceny charges. Well, was wanted on larceny charges. I assume he's not wanted anymore. Can't stop me. From his clothes and what he was carrying, we determined that this guy is the real Damask II. Cause of death appears to be the loss of blood from the back of the head. It seems that he was struck with something very hard. In other words, he was bludgeoned to death. Okay, so back of the head, and I assume this is being presented as the murder weapon. So this is the murder weapon in this case. Why's my phone buzzing? Phone jumping. There's blood on the blade, and it's a rather sweeping sword, isn't it? What did you expect? It's Steel Samurai Daddy's secondary weapon. I only call it his secondary, although, because he uses his sword in most of his battles. It's his trusty samurai spear that he turns to in a real fight. You sure know quite a bit about the Steel Samurai. That's only because I saw the stage show earlier. The owner of this sword is the Steel Samurai, or in other words, Larry. I should probably ask him about it, as detrimental as it is to proving him innocent. Alright. Anything about this cloth? I suppose this was the wrapping cloth Damask II used to carry his stolen goods. But there's nothing wrapped in it now. I guess he never did manage to get his hands on whatever it was that he was out to steal. And the weapon was placed on top of it, so the cloth dropped before the weapon did. That seems about it. Now, let's go ask Eric. Let's go ask Larry about the goddamn sword, if I can actually make it to him.
Larry, there are a few things I need to ask you about.
Hey, how about that? I got a few things I've got to ask you, too.
What is it?
It's like both you and him. How is that the two of you always manage to have some cute or hot girl by your side? And Franzi, what about that promise you made to me? Promise? What promise? The one where you said you would model for my next book, Franzi's Whippity Whip Trick. Well, we know she agrees. I made no such promise.
Ever since grade school, we've had a certain saying about Larry. When something smells, it's usually the butts. One needs to look no further than this man to find the king of troublemakers.
Just look at him. Alright, Steel Samurai.
As I recall, you're calling yourself Larissa Donim now.
That's Donim? Larissa Donim. Get that straight in your head, Edgy. Ow, 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 ow. Now I remember. You're that rude, pale imitation of a real artist. No, you've got it all wrong. I give up on that whole Larissa business. Besides, when Bangelina left me in my heart in pieces, that's when Mindy walked into my life. She's been so good to me that I've always wanted to help her in some way, and I figured I could through the Steel Samurai outfit. Your inane blathering makes less and less sense each time we meet.
I believe he's saying that he picked up this part-time job as the Steel Samurai so that he may attempt to capture the heart of the actress who plays the Pink Princess.
You got it. I knew you'd know what I mean, Edgy.
Not really. It's not so much as I understood, but a simple deduction based on your usual modus operandi, Larry. Larry, I'd like you to confess right now to everything you did tonight.
Confess? Hey, don't tell me you think I'm a suspect too.
Nonsense, I don't believe you actually have the mental acuity needed to plan and execute a murder. However, we are talking about you here, so I find it hard to believe that nothing happened. From past experience has taught me that you're always at the center of some insane event.
Edgy! How can you be so mean? Stabbing me with your words like that.
Unfortunately, I don't have time to search out a key to unlock your heart this time.
Ah, I get it. No psycho locks.
So I suggest that you cooperate and tell me what you know.
Okay, I get it. Just stop Frenzy from whipping me from behind. So I guess you know what I did, right, Edgy?
I can't even begin to imagine. However, I imagine that whatever you were up to was probably beyond my imagination. So, you will tell me exactly what you did, Larry?
Nope, not yet, Edgy. It'll take more than that to loosen my lips. A lot more! Confess now. Okay, well, I was up on the roof.
And why exactly were you up there?
Oh, you know that wintry custom in the Legendary Hero?
Legendary hero.
Santa Claus!
Santa Claus.
I wanted to do that thing he does, so I climbed up to one of the chimneys. But when I got there was smoke pouring out of the chimney. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Getting a little bit of logic, too.
And...
well, I couldn't go down the chimney with smoke coming up, right? So I gave up.
Larry, you do realize that...
Of course I know. I did graduate from junior high, you know. Oh, Larry? There should be a school that you say after that. Larry, did you drop out of high school? It explains way too much, but at the same time, Larry, come on. Come on, brother man.
Then you should also understand this. If Santa was real, he would be the biggest unlawful trespasser in history.
Oh, crud.
It is your attempt to imitate Santa that has landed you as a prime suspect in this murder.
Come on, man, what's wrong with pretending to be Santa?
Let's start with the fact that it will be the Ides of March in a matter of hours. Santa only visits home on December 24th. That's in December, you nitwit.
No! Hey, wait a sec, we're not in court. Okay, what does that mean? Come on. You're still stupid. Murder weapon.
Larry, about the samurai sword that was used as the murder weapon.
Oh, that. Well, I shook hands with the ambassador in this room, you know.
Yes, apparently you did.
And while I totally forgot about it and left it behind when I left afterwards. You want to talk about shock? I was the most shocked of all when I heard it kill someone. Shocked! Foolish fool looking especially foolish for foolishly stating such a foolish excuse. You forgot to take something that big with you. Who would believe such a tale?
Sorry, Miss Von Karma, but I believe him. Because if anyone could forget something like that, it would be Larry.
Edgy, you believed me. I just knew that our friendship has something special.
Anyway, if Larry had simply forgotten the sword and left it behind, that in no way clears his name. Which means that I will have to prove his innocence from a different angle.
Alright, so that's all we got for you. Do we have anything else we can look at? I guess the desk? I kind of want to get, like, up to the edge of it, but I guess this is as best as I can go.
This must be Ambassador Alba's desk. His notebook is open on his desk. He must have been in the middle of some important work. Sapling growth log had finally sprouted today.
Funny, it doesn't look like important work to me. Man was growing plants. Bro, the hat is blocking me. I am being blocked by Mask Damask's hat. What kind of horse shit is this? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Let's look at the window. Is that a fucking bird's nest? Is that a tree in a bird's nest?
Two gorgeous flowers are in full bloom here. I'm sure flowers as lovely as these must have had an equally as lovely name.
Miles Edgeworth, are you done staring? I should hardly think that passion flowers are all that rare.
Passion flowers? That's a rather unusual name.
It was named by priests in the 15th century for the Passion of the Christ.
As they say, you learn something new every day.
Passion flowers. So one did sprout. A sapling did sprout. So that was written today.
I guess that about wraps up my investigation. That's...
The Pink Princess. Yo, Pink Princess, how are you feeling? Still feeling ill? Helmet off, dumbass.
And yet another strange character comes out of the woodwork. And so the Pink Princess also comes to pay a visit to the Alabastian Embassy. I believe I need to speak with her as well. Miss Pink Princess, I have a few questions I'd like to ask you. Miss Pink Princess, if you would answer...
Why? Why is God cruel? Why? Couldn't have had Mike No Megaphone Meekins come back again. Had to be Wendy. Had to be Wendy. Why couldn't it have been somebody I wanted to see? This is honestly a punishment. I don't deserve this. What have I done to deserve this? Is there some cruel joke that goes on? Why do they... This must be what they call fate.
How could this happen 2 days in a row?
What the... Aren't you Miss Oldbag?
Why are you so surprised?
Ah, so you're the one that got to play the Steel Samurai. It's too bad I didn't realize that until now. So when they were talking about hearing the Pink Princess's hip cracking or some shit, they were right. God fucking damn it. It was a foreshadow and I couldn't see it coming. Because I was like, there's no way they're going to do Oldbag again. These women are just fucking shit-talking for no reason. But no. The cracked hip was real. Why, yes, we worked at the same company for a little while, you know. That's why it's okay, my edgy poo. You don't need to be jealous. At this point, if I was Edgeworth, I would just walk out. I'd let the true culprit have it. Yeah, you know what? I'm not investigating shit. Y'all on your own. Peace. I was in the next room, you know, trying to get some beauty sleep. But it was so noisy here that I couldn't fall asleep, so I came over to complain. So imagine my shock when I saw my precious edgy poo waiting here for me. I mean, who could have imagined that you would ever come to a show like this? I guess I've misjudged you, Edgy Poo.
You misjudged him.
I thought he was trying to avoid me, you know.
That was no misjudgment on your part. That was precisely what I was trying to do.
But it looks like the winds have shifted and now he's willing to be chased after. I'm simply overwhelmed. Don't you worry, Edgy Poo. I'll chase you forever. To the ends of the earth.
Isn't that just peachy? This is one of those rare times when Francisca and I actually see eye to eye.
Alright. Fuck it, I hate God. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So, what are you doing here? Oldbag would be slightly more tolerable if she was Edgeworth's actual grandmother. Yes, I'd agree. If she was Grandma Edgeworth, that would make her a lot better.
I thought you were working at Gatewaterland as the Pink Badger.
What are you talking about? That was ages ago.
That was yesterday.
Look, I worked at Global Studios before, a long time ago, right? Well, they called me up this morning, actually out of the blue.
They called you?
Apparently the girl who plays the Pink Princess collapsed from a bad cold. It happened so suddenly, so they called me in to be her last-minute replacement.
Do they not have enough people on staff at that studio?
I really couldn't say no, so here I am playing the role of the heroine. Instead of that Mindy girl, I mean. But the poor girl, I feel bad for her. Because they let me stand in for... Okay.
You're a rather lively old lady. So basically, you received the stand-in request this morning, correct?
You got it. If you need to see it, I've got it right here. Look. It appears that she is telling the truth. Alright. I tell you, my fine acting moved the entire audience to tears.
Yes, tears of laughter, as I recall.
But being famous has its problem too, you know. Here, take a look at this. It's a letter from a stalker. As much as I hate to break it to you, I don't think it's a letter from a stalker. I hate to break it to you. Honestly, you really have to watch out for these kinds of things. Look at what it says. Wendy, I'll be descending... Okay. It's gonna be saying Mindy, not Wendy. That's why they're so close. I'll be descending on you from above tonight, your loving knight. How absolutely revolting. I mean, you think you could get my name right. There's no accent in my name.
Wait, this horrible handwriting. Where have I seen this before?
Ah, but now that you're here, Edgy Poo, I feel 100% safe.
Where do I factor into this?
What was that night spelling? Also descending? I mean, you have to remember, it's Larry Butts. He only graduated junior high, you know. You'd bust that evil stalker man for my sake, wouldn't you, Edgy Poo?
Well, if you allow me the liberty to handle this in my own way, I'll gladly dispatch a detective to your house later.
Oh, come on, Edgy Poo. Stop being so dismissive and playing hard to get. Letter from a stalker, jotted down in the organizer. Time of the murder.
What were you doing at the time of the crime?
What crime? What? You're in a room with a dead body. He's not taking a nap over there. He's dead. After the show was over, I had nothing but free time on my hands, so I used the fireplace in the room next door to keep my bad hip warm. Right, okay. So that would explain the smoke in the chimney. Well, a murder occurred in the room right next to yours. Is that right? Oh, Edgy Poo, I'm so scared. Hold me, caress me.
If you could please not cling onto my personage.
In any case, I take it then that you failed to show up at Ambassador Alba's speech. Oh, no, I didn't go. I mean, I may have the heart of a young tender maiden, but my body just refuses to cooperate at times. As the show ended, my hip started acting up and got stiff. I couldn't move at all.
Can you provide proof of your condition?
Oh, you just go on ahead and ask the doctors in the infirmary. They're the ones who carried me all the way from the theater to the embassy.
I have to admit, the thought of her not being able to leave that room is rather pleasant.
Prosecutor Von Karm, I bought the police dog as your... Wait, hold on. Is that Missile? Is that supposed to be Missile? Good work. You may leave now, officer.
This dog.
I requested the assistance of a dog in our search for the Yatagarasu. Missile! Poggers! Looks like you guys have some pretty bright dogs in this country, too. Hey, you're a real cutie, aren't you? Yeah, that's a good boy. That's the police dog Gumshoe's been taken care of. Yeah, Missile, let's go!
I think its name is Missile.
What a fitting name for a police dog that dashes out in front and attacks.
An action alone isn't exactly what's going to solve the case for us, you know?
Now, Missile, I want you to find some clues. Go. Go, Missile, go! Go, Missile, go! Good dog. You really are quite bright, aren't you? Unlike a certain someone I know. Now, what do we have here? Is that a fucking samurai dog? What kind of shit? Hey, wait a minute.
Wait, Francisca, isn't that an official samurai dog?
Missile, no! Ah, no, bad Missile. He ate it. I wonder if that's alright for him to eat that.
It's just a meat substance snack featuring the Steel Samurai. I'm sure he'll be fine.
That's quite a bit of information you gathered there in a single quick glance.
We should really be focusing on why there was a samurai dog there in the first place.
It looks like that snack wasn't all Missile found. Oh, and what do we have here? It appears to be a lady's undershirt. I wonder if Ambassador Alba might have an interest in cross-dressing. That was fast, Franziska, Jesus Christ.
I somehow doubt that. It doesn't look like the shirt would even fit him.
Samurai... Is it Larry's? Does it belong to Larry? Or is it Old Bag's?
What are these two items doing in a room like this? Given the circumstances, the lady's undershirt could only belong to one person. I suppose I should get this owner over with and ask the owner of said undershirt about it.
Well... Why don't I talk to Old Bag some more?
If he If you could please take a look at this brown-colored undershirt.
Oh, Edgy Poo, what is the meaning of this? Why did you steal that thing from my bags? All you had to do was ask, and I would gladly have given it to you, given you as many as you'd like.
Thanks, but no thanks. This shirt was found here at the crime scene.
What?
Come now, why don't you just confess and explain what it's doing here?
I know nothing. Nothing, I tell you. Take a sip. Why are you also getting so angry?
What?
Oh, I admit that I used the fireplace to dry that shirt, but I can't really help the fact that I had to, you know. Wearing the pink princess costume like that was being in a sauna. And on top of that, I get fingered as a suspect? You're too cruel, Edgy Poo.
Are you claiming that you never once set foot inside this room?
Of course I am. If I had been the one to find the body, you'd think I'd be as calm and relaxed as I am now. Okay, there we go. Shut up, Wendy.
Well, I don't believe she is lying about her actions. So I can safely assume she was really drying her shirt by the fireplace on her break. And somehow the undershirt managed to move from the next room into this one.
How the fuck that happen? Alright, well, we got a lot of logic now.
I also assume the samurai dog was yours.
Ah, that brilliant mind of yours. You can really see through everything about me. Also, the breastplate molds for that costume are awful. Well, you gotta have a way for everybody in the audience to tell that it's the female Steel Samurai. Alright. Samurai dogs.
That samurai dog was yours, wasn't it?
Oh, of course I'm forever yours, my edgy wedgy poo.
If you could just stick to what I asked you.
Edgy, are you Miss Oldbag?
No!
You really don't change, do you? When will you learn how to take a joke? Anyway, that samurai dog wasn't mine. Those things are a present from the studio to the embassy.
A present.
The studio bigwigs basically told us to play delivery boys. We were supposed to hand the dogs off to the embassy people and tell them hi. I had to pile them all into the pushcart just to move them all. Those studio guys should have delivered those things by themselves, right, Edgy?
So, did you deliver the samurai dogs to the embassy staff as per your instructions?
Hey, Edgy, don't just ignore me and my question. Aren't you going to stick up for me? Ah, about that. See, after the show, I went to rest a spell in the dressing room. Because of my bad hip, you know. And there they were. The samurai dogs were just sitting on the dressing room floor. Alright. I suppose you had to make preparations for disturbing them after the show. Or distributing them after the show. What if by preparation you mean sampling them as well?
Excuse me?
Oh, I tried one and thought they were actually quite good. Sorry, but I just had to find out. I know it was silly of me to think this, but I figured that since they're for a kids show, their taste is probably for kids too. But they were so good that I couldn't stop. Before I went back to my room, I just had to help myself to half a dozen or so boxes. As I sat there by the roaring fire, warming them and eating them, I thought, ah, this is... What is it now? Oh, I know. I bet you want a box too, don't you, my edgy poo? Well, who am I to say no to you? But I'll only give you one. The rest are all from you. Samurai dogs forced on to me. Looks like the lesson for today is that when the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess take off their mask, they transform into a pair of annoying troublemakers. Alright. Let's head into logic, because we have to have at least 5 things right now, right? I am so stupid. How? Well, use the fireplace smoke from the chimney.
There was no trace of this room's fireplace being used.
And your point is?
Smoke was supposedly pouring out of the chimney connecting to this fireplace. At least according to Larry. That is a contradiction of the facts, is it not?
Are you sure he was just disoriented? He wasn't just disoriented or something up on that roof?
There was testimony from an investigator that puts Larry up at this particular chimney. So no, I don't think it was a mistaken impression on Larry's part. On the other hand, the fireplace in the next room was being used at the time. Where do you suppose the smoke from that fireplace went? I see. So what you are proposing is this. The smoke came out of the chimney was actually from Miss Oldbag's fire. How the fuck does that work? So basically, the fireplace of neighboring rooms share one chimney. Is that what you are implying? Oh, well, I mean... Yeah? I'm not a chimney man. I figured a fireplace had to have one chimney, but that makes sense. That way you don't have to build multiple chimneys. That makes sense. I've never... I wonder if that's like a common thing, though, right? Like, because most houses that have a fireplace, they usually only have the one fireplace. So it's not something that you can really look at and say, I guess both of those fireplaces share the same chimney, but I guess for a building like this... Precisely. Okay, so now this makes sense. Undershirt from next door in the shared chimney. Right. Right. The lady's undershirt that Missile found. Ah. Why are you getting all excited over holding onto a lady's undergarment? Miles Edgeworth, you uncouth sea slug. If you know the owner of said undershirt, then hurry up and return it to her already. You have it all wrong. This is evidence. And the owner of this piece of evidence was in the room next door. And yet despite that, Missile found it in the fireplace of this room. This lady's undershirt. Are you seriously claiming that it somehow passed through a solid brick wall? Not quite. The fireplace in this room is connected to a chimney. The other fireplace in the other room is also connected to the same chimney, leading us to the possibility that the two fireplaces are connected to each other. Perhaps a closer look at the back of the fireplace is in order. There is an X on the back wall of the fireplace. Let's see if I can't get a better look at it. What in the... The wall separating this room's fireplace from the next room's fireplace apparently turns. Okay, because I was going to ask, how the fuck does the shirt transfer over? But I guess... As I suspected, this fireplace does indeed connect to this room to the neighboring room. The neighboring room? There appears to be nothing particular about the next room. But the fact that there is nothing special about the next room isn't what's important. It's the fact that there is a secret passageway through this room's fireplace. Okay. We now know that the fireplace connects the two rooms. But how exactly is that significant? You aren't going to suddenly name Old Lady as Damask II's killer now, are you? No, she couldn't move at all because of her stiff hip. So she could not have been the one. Unfortunately, I believe that this fireplace has nothing whatsoever to do with Damask II's murder. I mean, I don't really know about that. Because it's a little bit weird that the fireplace would rotate for no reason unless the person knew that there was evidence that you could use to place somebody at the scene of this murder. So it was somebody that had access to Wendy's room. So it could have been somebody that was on the embassy staff that brought her up to her room, right? I still think that the circumstance for Cochin's murder is that Callisto Yu is back, right? But at this time, I don't know if she also committed the murder of Damask II. Because why would she be in here? Like, obviously, she had to come in here to get the knife. And does that just make the Damask II a victim of circumstance then? Because that kind of sucks for him. It makes sense for the story, but sucks for him. So I wonder if it's possible to say then that she was working with somebody else, but at this moment we don't really have the evidence pointing to any one particular person that has been shown in the case other than a profile I have in my organizer. Because she's still there, but she's not necessarily
Wait, what the fuck? This is what Master Mask the Second looked like? This guy sucks. Where's Ron Delight? Ex-security lady. I believe her real name is Wendy Oldbag. Doesn't even have her name as her title. 60 years old. Old man.
It would appear that the answer has made itself known.
You're making quite a confident face there, Mr. Prosecutor. Bring it on. I'm ready to counter any argument you may have.
Very well then, if you are prepared. I'll show you exactly where my deductions have led me.
Good, I'm counting on you, Edgy.
Leave it to me, Larry. My first attack will be to expose your lie for what it really is.
My lie?
I know that there is still something you are keeping from the rest of us.
What's wrong with you? Why is it you won't believe me no matter what I say, Edgy? Curse you. I should just hurry up and die already if that's how it's gonna be. I'll confess to every murder in the whole world and then kill myself. And then throw everything into mass confusion. Made some wonderful friends as a child, I see.
Larry, I only have one thing to say to you.
Even if you make that face at me, it's no use. A man who is ready to die is strong-willed, you know.
Larry, it doesn't matter what sort of harebrained trouble you've caused. I will only ask that you do not lie to me. If you cause an innocent person to be judged unfairly because of some insipid lie, I will never forgive you.
Edgy?
Although allow me to say that I consider you to be among the innocent in this case. And I will draw the real killer out. You can trust me on this.
Alright, This time I'll tell you the whole truth, okay? What happened, what didn't happen, the works.
Just what happened will do. Now then, if you would please testify as to what you did up on the roof tonight.
Up on the rooftop. After the show, I left the pushcart in the rose garden and came into the embassy. Then, they took a picture of me shaking hands with the ambassador. After that, until my next appearance, I had some free time, so I wandered around. That's when I spotted the chimney. A chimney like that is a rare thing, you know? So then, I wanted to play Santa and decided to give it a try. Okay.
Larry, I thought I just finished telling you not to lie anymore.
But it's kinda ultra embarrassing.
And what exactly is so ultra embarrassing that you can't tell me?
Edgy, man. I just said it was embarrassing, so of course I can't blurt it out. So you're just gonna have to reason it out of me. As your superior, I command you to hurry up and expose this man's lie.
I have every intention of to, for I'm not about to let us waste time on such a trifling matter.
Alright, so you were trying to play Santa, and what's up with that note? Or what present were you trying to give? Press.
You suddenly wanted to play Santa.
Oh, well actually, I dressed up as Santa once before already. Hey, who said that earlier? It was nostalgia, right? I see you. I can't believe nostalgia was spoiling me on fucking later game dialogue that I had yet to read. How dare you, nostalgia? I should ban you for spoiling the game for me like that, you bastard. I was down at Gourd Lake.
I'd appreciate it if you won't dredge up such unnecessary memories for me.
Sounds like you guys share a lot of history. A perk to being childhood friends, huh? Besides, it's not a felony to dress up and play Santa, you know. Santa doesn't go around killing people after he comes down a family's chimney, after all.
Actually, is it worth delving into whether or not playing Santa is a big deal?
Raise an objection.
Actually, I believe in the case of this man, playing Santa is actually quite a big deal.
Are you saying that your buddy isn't exactly made of Santa-quality stuff?
Precisely. You hit the nail on the head, Agent Lang.
Hey, Edgy, that's so incredibly mean!
Tell me something, Larry. Did you know that Santa's job is to deliver presents to all people all over the world?
Of course I know that. I did graduate from junior high, you know.
In that case, it's your turn to tell me something. I want you to tell me whom you were delivering a present to.
I was, delivering a present to a child not basking in the glow of love?
That must be the most elegant description of you I've ever heard, but a lie is still a lie.
You sure know how to kick a guy when he's down, you know that?
In any case, the person you wish to deliver a present to unto was most certainly this. Interesting taste you have there, Mr. Suspect. Don't spread lies about me. I totally didn't want to see Miss Oldbag that much, so much that I tried to go down a chimney. No. I advise you to stop right there and your bashing of a lady. Well, I must admit that I, myself, hardly ever have the want to run into that lady. However, what if you were misinformed and under the wrong impression? Then what? Define wrong impression. I simply mean that the man before you thought to enter the old lady's room without knowing one very important fact. And that fact is best summed up with this. The request for her to, stand-in request. This is something the old lady received from her employer for the night. The girl who normally plays the Pink Princess, Mindy, was it again? It seems that this man is quite taken with that actress. That's not true, Edgy. She's the one with the hots for me. I just know it. I can feel her sexy beam when she's piercing my heart when she's watching me. And we'll keep streams when you get to Old Bag reveal out of the Badger suit. I thought you were going to close the game for a second. I thought about it. Sexy beam, I tell you. You filthy, despicable, inconsiderate, fickle, idiotic, cowardly apparition of a man. You haven't matured at all since we last met. And Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, this guy. He's got bigger problems than just getting involved in murders, I take it. I suppose you could put it that way. Hey, what the heck, man? I don't get you guys at all. Why do you have to make me out to be some sort of bad guy? To return to the original topic, I propose that at least this much has been made clear. Without any knowledge that Miss Mindy had fallen ill, Larry tried to make his way into the Pink Princess's room. That much we know for sure. Hey, Edgy, looks like I've got the hang of this court thing now. But we're not in court at the moment. Shut up! I see what's going on here, and it looks just like what you do in court. I guess old boy here still has something he'd like to say. Lang Zi says, until the root of the tongue dries, one never knows the whole truth. You shouldn't form conclusions until everything is out in the open, which is why I'll listen. Alright, then get ready to listen to me defeat Edgy in a battle of wits. Larry, have you forgotten that should I lose, your victory prize would be your arrest? Larry's assertion. So you think that all I wanted to do was to visit Miss Mindy? Well, I dressed up as Santa and climbed up to the chimney, but the smoke was really thick. It was a case of mistaken identity, and that mistake made me late for the speech. No. No, you wrote a fucking love letter, you dumbass. Then to top it all off, I became a suspect in a murder. That's what you really mean? But why would I ever put myself through so much humiliation on purpose? Hey, someone say something! Larry, are you seriously trying to submit this as not as a confession, but as a testimony? So what if I am? Is there something wrong with that? My claim is a claim claiming my claim. Do you have a problem with that? So it was you. You are my stalker. But I should warn you, it doesn't matter what kind of flattery you throw at me. I'm the devoted type of... Okay, just calm down. Did she say that she was tempted by fucking Shi Lang? Or Shi Long, excuse me? I'm so inspired. You're such an inconsiderate, cowardly, idiotic, and all-around completely worthless man. I thought I heard something ominous just now, but perhaps it was just my imagination. I believe there is nothing further for me to prove at this point. What do you mean? Of course you've still got something to prove. You still have to show some proof that I was trying to meet up with Mindy. Proof, you say? Remember, Edgy? Everything in evidence is court, right? You mean evidence is everything in court, Larry, but I understand your point. Yeah, see, I'm totally a pro at this now. Very well, if you wish to see the evidence, then let me show you the last piece of evidence you'll ever wish to see. He just pulls out a fucking gun. Now, you absolute moron. Can you stop? Larry, don't even think about denying that you have knowledge of this letter.
Hey, what's going on here, Larry? Hey, why are you showing that thing to me? Wendy, I'll be descending upon you from above tonight, your loving knight. Well, isn't that just romantic?
But you weren't able to descend on her from above, were you, Mr. Loving Knight?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't remember a thing.
You can pretend to be ignorant all you like, but it's written right there. This letter proves that you were not out to meet the old lady, but rather that you were attempting to pay Miss Mindy a visit.
What part of this letter shows that the person Larry has intended to meet was Mindy? The fucking name? The guy just can't fucking write well.
Larry, I suggest you take up penmanship lessons. That is, if you never wish to experience this level of embarrassment again.
What the heck? What are you talking about? Speak English.
You wrote Mindy so sloppily that it became Wendy to the average eye.
Hey, stop picking on me. It's so embarrassing. There. Isn't that what childhood friends are for? They're the best, aren't they? For punching. But that will have to wait until we're off this crime scene. Edgy, save me from the scary man.
Sure, if you're willing to make your amends, starting with your incredibly embarrassing mistake.
That wasn't me.
Come again?
It's a fake. Someone out to get me. They made that fake letter to set me up. Accept your defeat graciously. But you guys are being so mean. Larry makes me want to shit in anger. I've never heard of anybody shitting their pants in anger. That's next level tech. That's insane.
Penmanship analysis. What's that? No matter who, all people have certain unique features to their handwriting. Ergo, all we have to do is compare the handwriting in this letter to a sample of yours, and we'll know soon enough that who it was that sent this letter.
I'll never... Big God. I'll never write another thing in my life. What's going on, Solaris?
It's no use, Mr. Loving Knight, for you have already graciously provided me with a sample of your handwriting.
Got him.
This autograph in our mysterious letter. If we compare the handwriting, we'll know the answer to our questions soon enough. Confess now, Larry, to your miserable failure.
I'm sorry. I did it. It was me causing trouble again. I admit it. You hit the nail right on the head, Edgy.
So he finally confesses.
I saw the pink princess being carried around in a stretcher and got worried, all right? I wanted to go into Mindy's room, but the doctors wouldn't let me in. So what choice did I have? It was the chimney or bust, Edgy.
Your mind jumped from the door to the chimney. What a criminally overactive imagination.
Well, at least I was honest and wrote Mindy a letter and stuck it under the door. That way she wouldn't be so shocked when I came down through the chimney.
Except for the fact that the letter was an utter failure at conveying said sentiment.
I'm really, really sorry.
Larry, you may be a shameful good-for-nothing blight on the face of humanity. However, I always knew you weren't the killer.
You may be a worthless, good-for-nothing piece of shit that nobody can trust or listen to at all times ever, but you're not a murderer. And isn't that the most important thing of all?
I told you to trust me. Because at the very least, I can attest to that about you.
Edgy, you're...
We've lost a lot of valuable time because of you.
Ow!
In any case, I believe we can say we now know exactly what happened. Mr. Larry Butt sought to climb down the chimney, not for access to the crime scene, but to enter the room of the elderly lady next door.
Great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Although I still find it a bit unbelievable that the two of you are friends. But the suspicion on that guy over there isn't completely resolved yet, so don't get any funny ideas about running off, okay?
No!
Hey, what? Edgy. What does the Wolfman mean when he says I'm not off the hook yet?
He means the murder weapon. Larry, did you forget? There are 2 layers of suspicion hanging over your head.
This isn't your everyday simping. This is advanced simping. That's exactly what I mean. We can't only rely on the words of the suspect after all. We may have figured out where he was and what he was doing all night. With a blood-stained samurai sword that was left at the crime scene. As long as there is no satisfactory explanation for that, this wolf will refuse to ease up on his bite. Eek! Edgy! That guy, he looks like he's serious about to take a bite out of me.
I'm well aware, and you should be as well, that this upcoming battle would be crucial.
Thanks to the cooperation of our lovely bumbler, I've been dealt a very nice hand and a sweet trump card. Looks like we're about to enter the final bout. I'm about to fuck you up, Shilong. Now, Mr. Prosecutor, let's see what you've got.
I can easily point out the contradiction in the supposed murder weapon. But the real problem for me is figuring out what the real murder weapon is. This will be a high-stakes gamble. But this is one game I can't afford to lose.
Why Larry? I was the one who found the body of a victim, Damask II. Beside him was the samurai sword, glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be in the Steel Samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found the murder weapon's owner, the suspect, Larry Butts, in here too. Okay. So, now, the question is, can it not be a, can the sword not be a murder weapon because it, like, the spear is hollow? We can press for that, right?
Isn't it a bit far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership?
But this owner wanted to sneak onto the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you?
If you're alluding to his reasoning for being by the chimney, we've already established that.
Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi?
You're accusing me of fabricating evidence.
You think I can believe anything you could produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do.
This man has some serious issues with prosecutors.
Come on, I can't think of something as complicated as that, right, Edgy?
Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Langs knows nothing about you or me, for that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. Meaning that only the way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence.
Why, Larry? Alright. So. Couldn't it be that blood was just placed on it?
Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood.
Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the test, the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. The sword was made not only to be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it is pretty weighty. It's certainly heavy enough to beat someone to death with. Which leads me to suspect that the victim was beaten to death with the sword.
Beaten to death, huh? That last statement is too important to just let it slip by.
Beside him was a samurai sword covered in the victim's blood. I suspect he beat the victim to death with that thing. Okay, no. Because Larry couldn't beat a wall for half of a second accidentally without it getting bent out of shape. So if it was bent, then maybe, but not with it in pristine shape like that.
Do you know what this is, Agent Lang?
It's a long spear, right? We used those a lot in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down, spears are the weapon of heroes throughout history. You hear that, Edelgard stands? The weapon of heroes. Not an axe, not a bow, the spear. It's the most effective weapon after the whip.
I think the whip is in a slightly different category.
So what's your point? Are you going to tell me that the spear is the real murder weapon?
No, I simply want you to take a look at this section here.
The way it's bent?
Precisely. Apparently a certain troublemaker hit it against a wall in this embassy earlier. And as you can clearly see, the insides of the Steel Samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, the replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow, let alone the multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And yet there is not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that?
Take damage. Like the hero will powers. Correct. Oh yeah, the sword and the spear are made of the same stuff, so they bend easily. but I wish they'd make them out of better stuff, because the spear got bad. I wasn't able to do my special early summer rain jab. Man, I got such an earful from the director of the play for not doing it in the show. The Steel Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him. Damn it. And the hero Larry Butts then? Well, he used the spear and broke it. So, if you want to take it there, then it's, oh, well, he's not a hero because he fucked up using the spear. Remember that. Youch! That's more than enough of your whiny whimpering. Now, back on the topic of the spear. Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se, so all I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using guesswork and taking risk in place of logic is hardly the Von Karma way. It's neither smart nor very clever. Miss Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. Yeah, it's not like anybody was using fucking, any sort of, you know, bluffing and non-logical facts to beat Von Karma before. But perhaps it is for the best if it remains unbroken. For no one should have conceived the notion to convict all defendants in the first place. What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolish fool who hates to lose. It's the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in court. There is nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory. That may be your opinion, however, I don't believe that's all we are. As a prosecutor, I pursue what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. And if that means the bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on towards the truth. Jesus Christ, that was tough. You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. So, I'd like you to consider, if you will, the possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed Damask II without bending it. So, what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need? Of course. What I need is evidence that even Agent Lang can refute. This is it. It's time to bring this to a close. Well, why Larry Part 2? It's possible to use the samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion, right? Yeah. We searched the embassy top to bottom, but that victim's blood is only on that weapon. Could it possibly be on anything else? Are you sure you inspected everything? Because you guys clearly didn't inspect those knives, and one got over to the fucking... the B side. This guy looks sick. Yeah, he's pretty cool. Proper Chinaman. So isn't it only natural that suspicion would fall on to the owner of said weapon? Huh. How long do you intend to cling to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we've examined every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone left unturned. And if we've managed to come up with one logical conclusion, that the only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword. Hold it! You left no stone unturned. Is that a fact? If you've got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it all crystal clear for you. So, I don't think you did leave no stone unturned. Shut up! Well, the only place where you could find blood was the samurai sword. That's right, even with luminol, which means that there are no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined. Do I have a problem with Agent Lang's assertion that the samurai sword is the weapon? Yep. If you believe that there is no other door of possibility left to open, then allow me to force one open for you. And how do you plan to do that? This guy looks like he'll meet you outside the courtroom if you beat him. It's a good thing that we are A, Miles Edgeworth, and B, not going to a courtroom at all. By showing you what may possibly be the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon? I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy, and they've concluded that nothing else could have been used as the weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis?
Of course, because it's not possible that your men inspected everything in their investigation.
What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate it when people like you are slandering my men.
I'm not slandering them, I assure you. That comes later. I'm merely pointing out that their investigative dragnet has a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on.
Oh, could he be talking about the statue because it was moved?
And that item is the real murder weapon.
Alright then. I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed Damask II. What exactly is it?
The real murder weapon, which not a single person has yet to touch, is this.
Balls? No, not balls. It will be alabasts. Right? Assuming they couldn't touch it either.
The national treasure of Alabast.
It seems like we're good. So, yay.
You mean the Primadux statue? Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which I believe that means that neither you nor your men were able to examine it, correct?
You know very well that if we did that, there'd be an international incident between the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babal. Well, there would also be a murder that never got solved, so the two countries' precarious relationship teeters on the balance over a stupid fight related to a sovereignty statue. But I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined.
Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction of the statue is facing just before and after the crime scene are different. Or after the crime are different. And there is only one conclusion I can draw from it.
Go look for Ambassador Alba and get him to give us the okay to examine the statue. Missel's been chilling for the longest time. Good dog. Shifu, you can't listen to this infidel's words. He is most definitely trying to trick you.
Shifu, please, let's be rational about this.
Lang Zi says, just go already.
Yes, sir.
He didn't even have a nice fucking speech on the end of that one. It was just go.
Shifu.
Yeah?
I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was able to obtain the permission for us to examine the Primadux statue.
I see.
Wait. But then the investigation is at a standstill. Agent Lang, I will go and speak to the ambassador personally.
Save your breath. You may act all weak and frail, but that old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you gotta be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know.
Agent Lang, what do you want?
Let's just hurry up and examine the statue already. But Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Fuck that old man. Quiet! I'll take the fall if I have to later.
Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine, so if someone is to take the responsibility, let it be me.
Responsibility? If we're going to talk in such heavy terms, maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for me. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then, let's talk and more investigating.
If we want to know the truth, we can't stop here. Action must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a chemiluminescence test on the statue.
A luminol test. Yeah, good thinking. If the statue is the murder weapon, some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay. Let's get the forensics team in here. Hey, how about that? Looks like you hit the jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. I guess this means that this is the real weapon that killed Damask II.
Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate if I were you.
This doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill Damask II, so the charge remains.
We are hardly done examining the statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that it is the real murder weapon, I believe further examination is required.
You think so? Okay then, knock yourself out. Hey, handprint. What do we have here? Sturdy smudge. It looks like a handprint. What's a definitive piece of evidence like you doing under here? It looks like we've got some fingerprints to analyze.
Worst case scenario, these prints belong to Larry, but it looks like it's too late for me to do anything about that now.
Hey, forensics guy, I want results on these fingerprints ASAP, you hear me?
Agent Lang, I have the analysis results, sir.
It's gonna be like K's or some shit.
Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know the victim in...
Oh... Is it going to be Manny Cochin's?
The prints belong to him, sir. To Mr. Manny Cochin.
That's... What's going on around here?
No, that's impossible. Each Primaduck statue can only be handled by someone of that country. But by the very fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one, it leads me to only one conclusion. The statue is actually Babal's Primaduck statue. Impossible. It can't be.
Yeah. Make him seem a little bit stupider every time he has to do that ayah shit.
Larry never once set foot on Babali's soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us even further. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with an Alabastian knife in Babal. And Damas II was killed on Alabastian soil with the Babal's national treasure. And the mystery of the great thief Yadagarasu who visited both countries. The pieces were there, but I had yet to see the big picture they were to form.
To be continued. And I think that's a nice stopping point for today. We've cleared Larry's name. We've pretty much cleared Kay's name because we've proven that she couldn't have gone to Alabast to get the knife. So now we're in a very unique situation that I think very few Ace Attorney cases ever present us with, where there is no suspect. No suspect at all. Not even the one that we're supposed to be defending. Because can't be Kay, can't be Larry. And the person that it's pointing to is dead, so we have to find a new person. So let's go ahead and save and end for today. I'd like to thank you all very much for coming out, checking out first part of chapter or episode 5, or technically the first 2 parts, right? We did the beginning and middle part 1. So with that, I will say tomorrow we're probably going to be continuing on to middle part 2. We might even be finishing it up depending on how many parts there are after that. I assume there's going to be end part 1 and end part 2, just because with the final case we're going to have a little bit of a length to stretch out. So with that, I will catch you all tomorrow, but until then, peace.